Well, very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck to Sim live stream. Today is the 21st of March, 2023, 3 minutes past 4 in the afternoon. We're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator in the PMDG 737, and by popular demand, we're going to be doing another failure stream. I'm going to turn on the maximum amount of permitted failures, which is 59 in a 10-hour period. It's about one on average every 10 minutes. Sometimes they come a little bit longer, sometimes they come thick and fast. Last time we did this, we had a rapid depressurization, multiple other issues. We lost all our displays. We ended up having to divert to Gatwick. For this one, we've turned it up a notch. We're in what are the islands called? I can't remember. Well, we're in Ponta Delgada in the Azores. There we are. We're flying to Faro. Flight's around 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's over the Atlantic Ocean. We do have a potential diversion of Porto Santo if it really goes badly, but yeah, we'll go for a swim otherwise if we have any major problems. Now, I see a lot of people have been messaging me, emailing, commenting on this video. I know all about the Microsoft Flight Sim update. I have not updated. The reason is I've actually had this sim running for about 2 hours. I've been sat on this stand. I haven't been sat here the whole time, you'll be pleased to know, waiting for this stream to start. So I'm not running the newest update, and also I'm not running the latest PMDG update associated with Sim Update 12. So we're in the old Microsoft Flight Sim update, the older PMDG 737. I know it's all working. I did a test sector earlier. Some of the members were watching with the failures. We actually managed to get into Faro. We had multiple issues though, and we'll see what happens today. Francois Joubert is here. He goes, oh snap, I've acquired the alpaca. Cool, well, thank you very much. That means you've been a member for 2 years. Spitfire RAF 100, afternoon to you. Did we load the pontoons? No, we need to be in the Blériot 11. That actually had pontoons. I don't know if any of you can remember that stream. Before we start flight sim, are we ETOPS rated? Engine turn or passengers swim? Where's my I've got my boo soundboard. I can't find it, but that's definitely it there. Now, funny enough, we are actually flying in Santa Maria Oceanic, but as like my operator, we're sort of simulating today, we're not ETOPS rated. So long as we're within 60 minutes or 400 nautical miles of a suitable diversion airport, we can fly. We would just need in real life HF and oceanic clearance. We might get that today. Harry says, hey Flight Sim, could I ask you a question please? As long as it doesn't disrespect my privacy or anything like that, of course, I'm open to questions. Brendan's here, Sim 737 pilot, Magnus Nielsen to name a few, Tim Fraser, King Air pilot as well, Alex H, here we go, remember to watch the safety video, he said. Still a domestic sector, technically. Jim Packer says, popcorn check, spare pants check, let's enjoy the trip, unbelievable. Laura, do you remember the Portuguese phraseology from Brazil? What? I'm not even going to attempt to say that, Laura, but thank you very much for suggesting it. Steve, how many failures did we have last time apart from decompression? Amazingly, you still managed that. It was 14 failures. This is a slightly longer flight time as well, so yeah, 2 hours, we should have around 12, 15 failures. We'll see what happens. Anyway, here we are in Ponta Delgada. This is just stock scenery here. We have on VATSIM, we have ATC as well. He messaged here to see if I'd be on the network, so I thought I'd connect there. We have someone else joining us on the sector. Hopefully he'll have a more successful flight than we'll inevitably do. I've also got the aircraft in the transit setup, so I've loaded the routing already. We're all ready to go. We just need to head on up the stairs and seamlessly enter the cockpit. You could argue if... Ooh, I didn't see a coat hanger there. I did. I never knew that PMDG modeled some wooden coat hangers. There we are. Anyway, we're now into the cockpit at a seamless transition as ever. So, as I said, we're in the transit state. I've loaded the routing in. We just need to start up the APU. We'll talk a little bit about the routing, the stream we're going to be doing today as well. Thumbnail is a preview for Cross the Pond. I know I made that using some photo editing software. I'm quite proud of myself as well. Who needs compatibility when the plane breaks down anyway? Unbelievable. Captain, do you think you'll ever get GSX? Maybe QWERTY 1562. We'll look in the future for that. You should swap planes when you're not looking. I heard that this plane might have issues. I've heard that too. Where's Will? Anyway, as I said, we're all pretty much set up, ready to go. Routing's all in. For those of you who are unfamiliar where we are geographically, let me just bring up the navigation charts for you, and we'll hide that there. So we're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean in the Azores. This airport is frequently serviced from airlines like what's the Portuguese national carrier called TAP. Ryanair do a number of flights here from Lisbon as well, and we're going to be flying right over the Atlantic. Look, there's nothing but Atlantic Ocean between here and Faro. Now, we do have here a suitable airport. If it goes really bad halfway, we can divert to Porto Santo. Definitely better than Funchal. Here's just a sort of a long runway with non-precision approaches. And I will treat this sort of as realistically as possible, so if I have a serious issue halfway, I will consider diverting. think we'll have an equal time point, which I've calculated, even though the flight plan couldn't give me one. It's around 58 minutes into the flight is the equal time point based off the full SID routing. Yeah, we'll treat it as realistically as possible. It's like, you know, with multiple failures, bit of a disclaimer in the video description, unlikely that what we'll experience today would ever happen in real life, so I might have to sort of adjust some things. I'll also listen to you as well in my decision making, so if you want me to continue for a bit of a laugh, I might do. Thank you very much, Romulus, 41 months as a member. Need to run a sweepstake on the failures, or maybe it should be failures until ditching. Well, funny enough, in my I've just passed my sim check recently, and in the training session we looked at ditching, so I'm sort of up to speed with it. So hopefully, well, if we end up ditching, I'll be ahead of the game before we go for a little swim in the Atlantic there. Edge of failure after V1, you imagine? Well, we'll have to see. I will turn on the failures though as soon as we get our takeoff clearance in the FMS. So we've done the setup. We briefed the routing. I've just briefly showed you what we're going to do. We'll be flying a Beacon 5 X-ray, which I'll brief shortly. Emergencies, we'll have discussed our actions event of rejected takeoff. There's no engine out SID here, so if the engine does fail above V1, we'll continue climb straight ahead 5,000 feet. Taxi, let me just again bring up the charts for you. We're going to start engines, pushback here to face east, and we've got to backtrack all the way for runway 30. The surface wind here, we'll get the 80 shortly, is 270 at 13 knots, and the SID is an RNAV SID, climbing straight ahead SM522, which you can see is there after, actually 528, sorry, and then 1,500 feet or above. 533, left turn 085 to nav post. Sounds like Jim has a cold again, a COVID strike. I can just hear someone coughing. And then there's Beacon as well, which is where the SID terminates. So that's sort of the briefing all covered. Let's get the weather off the ATIS and the clearance as well. Eddie Mambo, thanks for the 13 months. Looks like we're going for a swim here. Everybody have their whistles ready. Unbelievable. Wait, hold on. I've got to find a whistle soundboard now. I hope this isn't an embarrassing one. Let me see here. Oh no, what's this one? No, that's the Minecraft bow. Okay. Well, if you were stranded in the ocean, may I recommend you don't whistle like that. You might not be heard. Welcome on board, King Roshan. Thank you for subscribing there. Should we assume crash positions now, says Joshua Setford. Unbelievable. Is fuel replaced by jelly a valid failure? No. Right, let me grab the ATIS, see how the weather is, and then we'll grab our clearance. 123.9, and as mentioned, we do have some ATC here. No, let me just turn up.
021.
There we are, let's grab the weather.
Acknowledge LPPD Information Hotel.
Make sure you listen to the safety briefing, said Daniel. That is a good idea.
Joe Poundo Palo 2 Airport Dittis Hotel. 1,530 feet. Expect ILS approach. Runway and use 30. Transition level 70. Wind 270 degrees 13 knots. Visibility 9 kilometers.
Bit hazy.
Cloud. View at 600 feet. Temperature 17. 2.15 QNH 1021. Acknowledge LPPD Information Hotel.
So that's all copied. QNH is 1021. So as mentioned, runway 30 for departure. Surface wind 270 at 13, 9,000 metres, and the time is, what did he say? 1500 Zulu is what he should have said, but it said something there. VATSIM is working this time. Yes, I just found out, I can't remember who it was in chat, said you can actually update vPilot with Microsoft Flight Sim running, which is pretty useful. Xpilot, I think you have to shut down Xplane. So, yep, we have updated vPilot whilst in sim, and it seems to be working okay so far. Right, let's grab our departure clearance. And I think usually here in real life, where are we? Ponta Delgada has a relationship with Santa Maria, so they sort of coordinate your oceanic clearance to get to the mainland. So we'll imagine that's done, but you just sort of go down to clearance normally, and I think what they do, they transfer the information to Santa Maria, such as your planned cruise level and MAC number in the oceanic airspace. Right, let's grab our clearance. And who is it we're actually talking to?
Hello again from Transavia 62 Kilo.
That's Transavia,
clearance for Madeira.
He's going to Madeira.
Transavia 62 Kilo, Ponta Delgada approach, confirm requested MAC number, flight level and maximum flight level.
So just like in
50,
real life.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Cheers, Luke. Thank you very much for the $8. I think he doesn't know what we're in for, but he's got COVID.
I hope Jim knows what he is in for today.
2 kilo requesting max flight level.
We'll have to see. Thank you very
370
much for your donation there. Jim
Mach
is in for a treat, that's for sure. So flight level
Transavia
370 for the
62 kilo,
cruise.
copy requesting flight level 370,
And
Mach
79.
79er. Break information hotel, QNH 1021, clear to Madeira.
It's a
After
very,
departure,
Portuguese
track
accent.
280, climb flight level.
Thomas, yep,
250,
PMDG have just
squawk
updated. They were really quick with that
0733.
update, but I guess they've had the beta to test it, haven't they? But no, we're running the... We have not updated Microsoft Flight Sim. The Sim's been running for 2 hours, and we have the non-SU12 PMDG update as well. I know this a bit. Perfect. So I'm just getting my charts up here as well, so I know exactly who I'm talking to at each stage. There we are. Ponta Delgada approach. Bon dia, it's the Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, stand 5, copy information hotel, QNH 1021. Departure clearance to Faro for the Oceanic, request flight level 370, Mach decimal 79er.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, Ponta Delgada approach, boa tarde, copy flight level 370 and Mach decimal 79er, break, information hotel, QNH 1021, clear to Faro, Backwind 5 X-ray departure, flight level 250, squawk 0733.
Cleared to Faro, the Beacon 5 X-ray departure, flight level 250, squawk 0733, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, read back correct.
Perfect. So this very kind controller was in the chat here saying he's got full ATC, which is very kind of him to come on here. So 250 set, squawk can come in, which is 0733, and the SID which we've already briefly discussed is in there as well, the Beacon 5 X-ray. Now we're not going to activate failures just yet because they'll start coming as soon as I activate it, but we'll just prime Jim's FMC, aircraft failures, and it'll be all systems, random failures on 59 in a 10-hour duration. Let's get the APU started, and whilst that's booting up, we'll get rid of well, actually, we need to wait until it's on the bus because we still have the stairs and the baggage loaders and this young man doing some exercise, it would seem. We can at least call for the better pushback, so let's pre-plan that. It'll be to face east, and then we can go from there. Perfect. So we'll click that and click that. Perfect. And we'll press enter there.
40,
Perfect.
30, 20.
Cheers, Cal. Thank you
10.
very much for your 65 Swedish krona, sir. Very kind of you.
So glad to finally catch a stream of yours. Guess promising a bugger will be tough today.
We're not bogering today, Cal, but thank you very much for your 65 Swedish krona. If you're unfamiliar what boger is, we sometimes play a game called Butter or Go Around, see last live stream, where if I don't butter it according to the butter calculator, we perform a rejected landing and execute a missed approach immediately. I think I'll be very keen to get this aircraft on the ground as soon as possible today, Cal, but thank you very much for your donation. Very kind, sir. Right, so that's all done. APU's now up and running. Oops. That's now on the bus. So I'll just make sure I've actually got parking brake set before we remove the chocks. Parking brake set. We'll go to menu, FS actions, ground services, and I just simply remove the chocks, and that will do everything for me. It'll remove the GPU, the baggage carts, the baggage loaders, shut the door. We can see it all retracting there. Butter on water. Just imagine. Boga ditching, said Joshua. Unbelievable. Hope this plane is still under warranty, said Peter Green. We're actually leasing it from an airline called Lama International. I don't know if you've heard. Alpaca Airways are very popular. We're having to wet lease some aircraft at the moment. Daniel, someone should make a butter calculator for Microsoft Flight Simulator. They should. Unbelievable. Bioga, said Martin Keel. Land with both engines or go around. Seems relevant. Brilliant. Right, I think we're all good to go. We're all configured. I just want to make sure we have it all set up here. That should be on at this stage. Flight directors are on. It's all set up here. Runway QDM. Oh no, just heading for departure 298.
Transavia 62 kilo, push and start approved, facing east.
Perfect, and that is
Push that
all
approve facing
set. Oh yeah, just got to do the performance. I did check this against the real world OPT. There's a slight discrepancy actually of a few knots, but it's all set. 6.3 units as well. We'll request push to start. Alpaca 2-1, Delta Zulu stand Whiskey 5, request push to start.
Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, push and start approved facing west. Make a long push to be clear of Charlie.
Push start approved, face west, long push to be clear of Charlie, Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu. Perfect, just... I've trimmed a bit too far. I was too busy reading whilst trimming, or talking whilst trimming. There we go, so that's it. Let me just modify this pushback here. So pre-plan, and I just need to make it a long push to keep, and this is to face west, sorry, actually. So, and we'll keep Charlie clear for the other traffic. Just want to check my chart, make sure I'm happy that is Charlie. Yes, it is. So we're going to face west, non-standard push. So something like that, and that allows the other aircraft then to take the runway in via Charlie, or enter the runway via Charlie. Perfect, that's done. Request pushback. Now I've noticed this. It did this last stream. I've lost the audio for it. It did this in the other aircraft, but it seems no audio here for the pushback. Okay. I've released parking brake. Uh-oh. Well, I have to do it manually again. We did that in the Antonov. Alright, let me do it manually. Oh! Or is it doing it? I've just released hold. Or maybe it's just doing it without audio. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. Seems to be pushing out in some sort of direction. Don't forget to do the checks though. Packs off, APU bleeds on, anti-collision lights on, parking brakes released. Transponder out off. I don't like how it's pushing back and turning already. Ooh, is this... They've actually modelled the fact that you can rotate these knobs, but there is no weather radar working. What do I need to do? Out off for the transponder, that was it. Okay, we'll keep an eye on it closely. Starting engine number 2. Okay, I think it's doing its thing. Failure 2, reverse into the grass. Invisi pushback, we'll go with that one. If there's no tug, you didn't get audio. Ah, okay. Is that a known issue with the add-on at the moment? 2 N2, N1. Oh, I need to monitor my engine start here. Check the fuel valves. There we are. Spar valve was good. Okay, well at least we're pushing in the right direction. Yes, the audio sometimes either doesn't play, or more annoying, you get everything repeated. Well, yes, he'd be screaming, release parking brake at us more enough times, more than he usually does. Anyway, we're facing the right direction. It was very efficient pushback, pushing back by the controller. Okay, starter cut out 2463, 2 stable, starting 1. He's going to Funchal, wasn't he? Works 90% of the time, every time. Classic Phil. Anchor man. I haven't seen that film for years. N2, oil pressure, N1. I mean, you just said 90% of the time, I'm just quoting Anchor man. I don't think it's 90% either. Check the spar valve. Taylor Mouse, one of my failures triggered the ground alarm, not the config warning, the annoying bing bing bing. Is there a way to cancel it? Sounds like you had an IRS issue. If it's an IRS issue, then no. I hope you're doing well, thank you for your comment earlier. Right, setting the parking brake. I think it's just doing its thing now, hopefully it will lower us. I presume it will. Close that now. Starter cut out, monitoring engine number 1. 2, 4, 6, 3. 1 is stable. Let's do the before taxi flow. And sets. Flaps to 5. Here comes flight controls. Hello everyone. Full forwards, full back, left, right. Here comes the rudders. Full right and full left. And a recall. blank the lower DU, and then we would read the before taxi checklist, which we'll imagine is done. Is he? What? Oh, is that just a random traffic? I thought you could actually see his tug. That would be pretty cool if it was. Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, request taxi.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, taxi via Charlie, backtrack and line up runway 30, report ready for departure.
Clear to enter the line at backtrack via Charlie, runway 30 call ready. Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. Perfect, so, parking brake released, lights are on, let's do a config check. No takeoff config warning on. Very unrealistic spool up time, but we're on our way. And you can see a little bit of shaking, that is the FS Realistic, which I'm using at the moment. Hello Zach, watching from work at Manchester Airport. I hope you don't have any important jobs right now. But thanks for tuning in. The tiller is still a bit wonky. It's not making any sharp turns. Well, actually, we'll be doing 180 on the runway. Now we've been cleared to enter and backtrack. Oh, look at the ground traffic not smashing into me. It's actually waiting its turn. Right, cleared to enter and backtrack. So we'll just configure this now. We still need to complete the before takeoff checklist. Anyone know what the speed is? The maximum speed? Well, it's very operator specific, I suppose. But when we're actually backtracking on an active runway, we have a maximum speed. 30 knots is the usual speed on a taxiway. But what do you reckon is backtracking on an active runway?
Straight ahead, via echo, all short of runway.
Little higher, Christian, a little lower, Joshua. Duffy, considerably lower. Jim Bob's got it, 50 knots. 50 knots maximum speed whilst backtracking. And that is not a target, that is just the maximum. Usually I go to around 40, 45. V1, max 7.9. It's just no point asking you not. Right, let's do the before takeoff checklist. A config checked, flaps we have 5.5 green light, stab trim 6.3 units set, takeoff briefing, pax order bleeds on, V-speed set for departure, 128, 135, 142 on the MCP. The departure is the Beacon 5 X-ray. On this SID we're going to climb straight ahead to the RNAV waypoint SM528, then SM522, left turn SM533. Stop climb flight level 250. Any problems possible today, we'll climb straight ahead to 5,000 feet on runway heading and contact ATC. So imagine that's reviewed and cabin is secure. Our check's complete. And we're on our way. Are there speed cameras on the runway? Unbelievable. There we are though. If we have just tuned in, don't worry, we're not rejecting the takeoff. We are backtracking for runway 30 and we'll be ready for departure on reaching the runway end. Our engine's on continuous, not yet, but I will now do the checks below the line. Oh, they are on continuous, sorry. So, seats for departure, auto throttle, LNAV. Why is it not taken that? It did for a second and then spat it out. Maybe it's because it's not quite on runway heading. So what we'll do heading select, and then we'll engage LNAV at 400 feet. And transponder to TARA, weather radar is on. So MCP set. Transponder is TAR8, just start braking now. Strobe lights are on, waiting for our takeoff.
Minimums.
Cheers, Greg Scott. Afternoon. You might want to mute the alerts. I will be doing that as soon as yoke cam turns on. It automatically mutes the alerts. And watch this. I'm now going to turn on and activate the failures. So if I go over here to Jim's side, all systems, random, yes. Number of events 59, that's the maximum amount permitted. Limit events, oh, hold on, I'll make sure I don't go on the grass here. Limit events, no. And that's executed. It is on, guys. Failures can now start. Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, ready for departure.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, wind 260 degrees, 1 knots, runway 30, clear for takeoff.
Runway 30, clear takeoff, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. Perfect. Toga's in chat, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try and get to Faro. 40% N1. Perfect. A little bit more. That is stabilised. Where's the little toga button? This thing is here, isn't it? Set takeoff thrust. I've lost the roll mode. Engage LNAV at 400 feet. I've lost the auto throttle as well. I hope that's not a failure. We'll continue. There we are, that's fine. Don't worry. Takeoff thrust set indications normal. Checked. Staying in arm, should expect the throttle hold. Maybe the auto throttle's already failed. I don't know, it doesn't usually fail.
V1.
Hand off the thrust levers.
Okay.
Up we go. Well, we're committed to takeoff. And we're airborne. Positive climb, gears up. Is it working? It is. Have to do it twice there. Just pitch up a little bit there.
Transavia 62 fuel,
we are,
backtrack
400
and line up
feet.
runway 30, report heavy.
LNAV.
Backtrack and line up runway 30.
A little bit turbulence. Just holding the attitude at 20 degrees maximum. Well, PMDG's really commanding a high attitude there. I mean, maximum 20 degrees is permitted, unless you're very light. It shouldn't be that high. We'll bug up. And remember, I'm not allowed to see what failures we have. Remember last time?
Delta Zulu identified when passing 5,500 feet. Direct 38 north 20 west.
After passing 5,000 feet, we can proceed direct to standby. Can't see, remember. Proceed direct to 38 degrees north 020 west, passing 5,000 feet. Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. Flaps 1.
Delta Zulu only when passing 5,500.
Passing 5,500 will go. Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. Flaps up. I'm trying to do a million things at once. Perfect, right. It's handling quite nicely, the PMDG, although its attitude was quite high. Command A. Let me. All the throttle's now in, so N1. I think it was just a bit of a slight split on my thrust levers there. Flaps up, no light, so VNAV. And we're just going to wait till 5,500 feet, then I'll set standard. Passing 4,500 for flight level 250 after takeoff checklist. So gears off, auto brakes off. We're going to go off the failure page now. There we are. Star switches off. Oops. Air conditioning and pressurization 2.2. Climbing. And set. Release the crew. There we are. Checks complete. There's 5,500 feet. Direct to 38 degrees north 020 west. Execute. That's going to help by shortening my flights. LNAV and VNAVs engaged. And set standard. We're on our way, guys. Well, last time, and on my test sectors, I sort of get it an hour into the flight, sort of gets okay, just minor issues, but it's completely random. We could have an engine failure in 3 minutes. We'll just play the game, do everything as realistically as possible. Yeah, so far so good. Everything's ticking along nicely. Oh! Out of order. I've lost my standby ISFD. Okay, well it's already started, so I don't think there's any QRH for that. So it's very limiting, the ISFD. For example, I know, because I've had it before, in the MEL, you cannot dispatch at night, and you've got to avoid VMC conditions, but that's just a dispatch limitation. In flight, you just carry on, I would. But that was very quick. 4 minutes in, and I've lost my ISFD. Alright, well, there's worse problems to have. There's worse problems to have. Let's just hope we don't lose my PFD. Well, remember last stream, I lost all my displays, so if that happens again, we're buggered. Oh dear, right, I'm gonna zip. Oh dear, oh dear. Alright, well, only 2 hours and 10 minutes to go. And passing 100 for flight level 250. Let's do the pre-cruise check. So fuel, 6 pumps. We still have 80 kilos in the sensor, so we're going to get master caution fuel very shortly. Lights can come off. APU's off. Pressurization, really carefully check this. 4.2 climbing, so that's fine. And set. We'll release the passengers and recall. Log into CPDLC. Checks complete. We'll also tune up the VOR 111.2, which is the local VOR Salmagel. So if we lose the FMCs, at least we've got some conventional navigation. There we are. And I'm not oceanic route qualified at my operator. We don't do sort of North Atlantic oceanic crossing. We're non-ETOPS rated, but we do utilise oceanic airspace. So I believe when you're flying to Portugal mainland or Portuguese mainland or back to the UK, you wait until you reach your cruise level, you then tune up Santa Maria on HF, get your oceanic clearance and routing. But we've already advised Ponta Delgada approach our requested MAC number and cruise level for our oceanic crossing to the Portuguese mainland. There we are. Don't forget to release the Kraken. And 48 minutes until you try to land in the water. Oh no, well let's let's see. But there we are.
Transavia 62 kilo identified.
ISFD gone. And we're still cruising nicely. Now what I'm going to do is put in a couple of fixings in here. It's to do with we've got to make sure, this is my operator's procedure, as we're non-ETOPS rated, we have to be within 1 hour's flight time of a suitable airport. So we have an equal time point which I calculated, 58 minutes into flight, or 442 miles travelled. We're going to put in Ponta Delgada, which is Lima Papa Papa Delta, and 400 miles. And we're also going to put in Lisbon. We're not obviously flying to Lisbon, but this just keeps us within 400 miles of any suitable airport. Okay, master caution fuel, but that is associated with the low pressure centre tank fuel pumps.
India Romeo Kilo India Delta.
And if you zoom out, look at that, you can see how this routing just keeps you within 1 hour's flight time of a suitable en route alternate. We have to, for oceanic flying, be within 400 miles of a suitable airport, so non-ETOPS certified. We also have here Porto Santo, which Madeira would not be suitable, but Porto Santo is a suitable airport if you have an emergency to divert to. So if you have a serious problem halfway, we can consider diverting to Porto Santo. No precision approaches, but they have a VOR and RNAV approaches available and a nice long runway. There we are. Thomas, you only need the ISFD if other things go wrong, but that's not that won't happen on this ride. No chance. pretty much it. But yeah, I'm pretty confident. QRH has, there's no checklist for this. I'll quickly have a look here at flight instruments and displays.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, monitor Santa Maria 132.150.
Monitor Santa Maria 132.150, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. Thank you very much, ATC, sir. Bye bye.
Transavia 62 kilo, monitor Santa Maria 132.150.
So this is the oceanic. They're utilising VHF on VATSIM in real life. It's an HF frequency. Unless they have some sort of I think there might be some sort of VHF frequency. Is there actually any ATC here on VATSIM for the oceanic sectors? Having a look on the VATSIM map. No, unfortunately there isn't, but we're monitoring the frequency anyway. TJ, are you in real life qualified to land at Funchal? I'm not. No, my operator does fly there, but I'm not qualified for Funchal. There we are. Have you set the screaming passenger option for FS Realistic today? I always turn it off, but maybe today could be the day for you to turn it on. I think it's on, Steve M. It's on. Would you notify maintenance about the failure? This one, well, yes. I mean, as soon as we're on the ground, we're constrained by the MEL. As I mentioned, I have had, not out of order, but I had an issue where the attitude was completely wrong. We're on the ground, and it was showing -10. I think this controller has now switched to the oceanic sector. I think it's the same guy. Just tuning up the frequency now. So this would be on HF, I think, in real life. Santa Maria radio. Boitard, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. Climbing flight level 250 to 38 degrees north, 020 west.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, Santa Maria low. Contact me on 132.150.
132.150. We'll go Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. So they did. It's got a slightly different frequency. But he's on. He said contact me on 132.075. So I'll try this one again. Santa Maria radio, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. How do you read? think I just might have the wrong frequency. Let me try again. Santa Maria Radio, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, Santa Maria identified passing flight level 227, continue climb to flight level 370.
Climb flight level 370, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. So 370 is set. That is our final cruise level, and that is set on the overhead panel, MCP, and it's also our planned cruise level 2, and then we'll switch to decimal 79 when we get to cruise 2. There we are. So again, I'm unfamiliar with oceanic procedures. I think you'd still fly SLOP, strategic lateral offset procedures. So once you reach your top of climb or prior to the oceanic entry point, but we're already in oceanic airspace, you fly between is it 0. I'd have to look in the oceanic manual, but between 0.5 and 2 miles to the right, or anything between the track and 2 miles right, offset the track. It's just to reduce the risk of any TCAS or traffic issues, conflicts, and avoids wake turbulence too. Hi Captain, this is your co-pilot speaking. Hello CPOPs 8020, hope you're doing well. Is radio failure even possible with that? So, well, we had that on my last failure stream. We lost VHF 1 and I had to quickly switch whilst dealing with all the other issues to VHF 2. We actually lost the radio as one of the failures. Bernardo, I regularly fly across Santa Maria. Ask away if you want. Lots of questions for you, Bernardo. Bernardo's the one providing ATC here. As we're already in oceanic airspace, and you sort of already given us our oceanic clearance, at what point can I start? I don't know if it's an ATC thing would know about this, but what time can we start SLOP? Can I start it from now, or wait until 38 degrees north 020 west? That's my question. I regularly fly across Santa Maria, said, but oh yeah, I read that already. Francesco said, oh balls, hello. Blue Grand PC, I'm sure you've got this suggested before, but you should do this through the A320. Well, yeah, just leave the tray table out. But yeah, so far so good. I remember, I'm not cheating. I'm not going to see what failures we have. There could be something going on in the background I don't know about. So things like fuel leaks, tyre failures, loss of particular systems which don't enunciate them as to caution. Just like in real life, I wouldn't know there's an issue. So I'm not looking at that page. Bernardo, normally you would start after radar service terminated. Thank you. Now my operator does have a suite of oceanic documentation, which I did have a flick through, but I have never flown outside of a radar controlled environment before. One tray table a day keeps the failures away. Love it. Martin, isn't there a circuit breaker you can reset to restart the standby ISFD? Potentially, however, regarding circuit breakers, Martin, we as pilots don't reset circuit breakers unless, in the opinion of the crew, the commander, that it is for safety reasons. You want to reset it, and if you do reset it, you can only do it once. So if it had popped, we wouldn't touch it in flight. Do I need this? Is this a major safety issue for us? No, I still have my PFD, and so does Jim. So if there was an associated circuit breaker, and none of them are modelled in the PMDG, we'd probably see if it popped. If it had, we would only reset it if it was justified for safety reasons, because obviously there's a reason it's tripped. Your AC stores are still on ground power. You might want to change it to Gen 1 or 2. Well, it won't make any difference. It's only going to show us, the power there. This isn't really used. There's no checklist for pilots to manipulate the switches. This is purely a sort of an engineering function. I mean, you can monitor. You can see, look, each IDG riding 400 hertz, 150 volts accordingly. So yeah, I've never touched this in flight. Welcome. Thanks for subscribing there, Flight Hungry. Hope you're doing well. So I don't know, mostly that crossed my mind when I said it, that the PFD would just go poof as soon as I said it would be an issue. Thomas, you might need it to use that later. Just thinking, absolutely. You know, in real life, if I lost everything and I saw that the ISFD circuit breaker had been popped, I would, for safety reasons, reset it because I quite like to have it back on. Perfect. Gold Forest. Oh, so it's purely for monitoring. It doesn't switch the source physically. That is absolutely correct. The only way to switch buses is by manipulating the generator on APU switch here. This has nothing about changing the source of AC power. This is just purely monitoring each of the systems. And I think at Vibrate it's always on ground power by default. Nope, we're not using SU12 Captain X Sim. My Microsoft Flight Simulator was up and running an hour before they pushed up the update. Thankfully, they haven't forced the update if you've already got the sim running. Fingers crossed no sim crash, otherwise I will be forced to update it. But yeah, we're running the SU11, I guess, the one before SU12. Right, bank angle to 10 degrees. Looks like I've not suffered any more issues so far. Top of descent for Faro is an hour and a half away. At least, well, hour 25 minutes. Anything could happen. Faro seems a bit far. Oh, Jesus. The random failure on the Phoenix has a lot of room for improvement. For example, it likes to use a fuel pump for its failure, its first failure of the flight. Ah, okay. Consistently, the PMDG one is truly random. Truly random. Just picks one at any point out of the significant list of failures available. It's very, very nice system.
Minimums, approaching minimums.
Hello, Itch It, Scratch It. 41 members as a member. Thank you very much for your support for that entire duration. Time goes quick, doesn't it? Looking forward to my flight in the A380. Very exciting, Itch It and Scratch It. Thank you very much for being a member for such a significant amount of time. And please inform us, where are you going on your A380? That sounds very exciting. Engine separation during cruise is a challenge, I remember on the sim. Oh yes, well we only demonstrate the type rating engine separation. It's a pretty tricky situation because if you were to have an engine separation you're likely to have issues with fuel, hydraulics, electrics. But funny enough, the handling characteristics are significantly better with an engine separation because you've just lost a 4 or 5 ton lump of metal. So it actually handles quite nicely. Perfect. Francesco, I swear that sounds something to cardiac arrest. Yes, my membership ping is the autopilot disconnect tune. Really not suitable for this stream today, but no, we're doing well so far. It's just Scratch It going to Tokyo via Dubai, A380 both flights. So that sounds like Emirates. Very exciting, very exciting. I have flown on a 380 in real life many years ago with Singapore Airlines. I was going to visit my uncle who had a business out in Jakarta, actually back to the UK now, and we went with my stepbrother. Very, very exciting. We got 380 with Singapore Airlines to Singapore and then 777 to Jakarta. Capex Sim, as soon as the 380X comes out, will you try? Absolutely, absolutely. Hi Luca Hansen, I hope you're doing well. It says hi with the thumb and finger emoji. Hope you're doing well. Abby, 29 months as a member. Thank you very much for continued support. Always watching a fly deck stream at work. My co-workers tease me for it. I'll give you a bit of banter. Hey, I get banter from my co-workers for streaming, so I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't worry. Thanks a lot, buddy. Anyway, for your continued support. Cow! Why did you donate earlier? It's been with a banter. Just skinned a nice Atlantic salmon for dinner. Hope you don't say hi to those today. Oh dear. But yeah, we're 19 minutes in. There's only one failure. I'm really, checking the fuel frequently, making sure we've got no fuel leaks. I don't know if that's actually modelled. Now, one thing that PMDG unfortunately doesn't model with the failures are flight control issues. So I can't have any issues with the primary flight controls, the secondary flight controls, so spoilers, flaps. Flap issues. Well, issues on the 737 are incredibly rare, but I, touchwood, haven't had flap issues, but I certainly have come across cases or flown with people who have had flap issues. So they can be quite complex with regards to how you manage them, depending if what has failed and what the nature of the flap issue is as well. CapEx, I hope fire and crash animations are going to be worked out for the sake of satisfaction. Thankfully not at the moment. Just some neat photo editing for my thumbnail. Well, we're 1 to go before our cruise level, and we are doing well so far. So, question for you guys, decision making. If you were to have a serious issue now where it said return to the land at the nearest suitable airport, where would you go? Would you continue on your route? looking at those fixed rings, we've got a suitable airport down there. What would you perhaps consider doing if you were to have a serious issue right now? Pablos, I've never heard the words flap issue so many times in such a short time. Yep, you've got it. Domino scene at turn back, absolutely. And this is what these fixed rings are. Now we're quite fortunate that the wind here is well, it's a slight tailwind, and I think on this sector it was like a 15 knot tailwind. So the equal time point is slightly further than the exact midpoint route distance wise. I think I calculated it's basically endurance. We got a massive shortcut on the SID here, but essentially 58 minutes along the flight, following the flight plan until we get to our equal time point. We've got a massive shortcut on the SID, so it's probably a little further along here. So equal time points, you know, in the Airbus it calculates it for you. Operational flight plans on my operator, they will state equal time points as well. Unfortunately, SimBrief didn't generate one here, so I had to sort of go old school. When I say I went old school, I went to an online calculator. But essentially, yeah, 58 minutes into the flight is our equal time point.
Welcome.
There we are, cruising at 37,000 feet.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu for your route and speed clearance. Contact Santa Maria on HF 132.075. Keep monitoring this frequency.
For our oceanic clearance, contact Santa Maria HF 132075, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. We'll monitor this frequency. So what we'll do is call that box 2. So they're simulating HF using VHF because it's not modelled here. And what we're going to do is tune that up in box 2. I hope this works. And we'll select that, and that should, if they've modelled it correctly, transmit on box 2, which it is. Perfect. So I need to get my oceanic clearance now. So we'll just check in, and this would be HF. So you'd be listening now. There, HF, you know, comes a vast distance here. You don't want to be monitoring this frequency, but by operator you have to, because we don't have cell call. So we'll tune in here and request our oceanic clearance as well. Santa Maria radio. Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu for oceanic clearance.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, Santa Maria. Boa tarde. Santa Maria ATC clearance to Faro via 38 North 20 West, Comwood, Ixoli. Maintain flight level 370, Mach decimal 79. Over.
Just stand by, just having a little issue here. Okay, flight director. Command. Okay, I've lost my flight director. I have it this side. Oh, Christ almighty. Okay. Right, I'm just going to prioritise this issue here. What on earth has happened here? This looks like a serious electrical issue. We've got auto failure. We're using the alternate pressurisation system. Speed trim failure, Mach trim failure. We've lost the yaw damper. We've got zone temp. That is not resettable. What on earth has happened here? Wow, some electrical issue, I think. Right, I'm just going to check in here. And Alpaca 21 Delta 0 cleared to Faro. Routing 38 degrees north, 020 west, Comet Exuli. Flight level 370, Mach decimal 79er.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, confirm waypoint after 38 North 20 West.
After 38 north, 020 west, waypoint Comet, and estimating Comet at time 1738 Zulu.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, read back correct, go back to VHF frequency.
Back to VHF, thank you, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. So we'll go back here, we're just going to detune that there, and back to VHF 1, and we're monitoring that frequency. Right, I've got to deal with these issues here. I've got an autopilot in, no flight directors here. I'm thinking we've got some sort of bus time maker issue here. Thank you.
This is what we watch these for. Smiley face.
And why are we climbing slowly? Hold on, let me just get back down to 37,000 feet. And it's not following the flight directors, even though the autopilot's engaged. So I'm just going to recycle some things here. LNAV, vertical speed, and I've got command, but flight director? What is going on? This seems a bit buggy, guys. I'm engaging command. Oh, there we go. It's now bit. What happened there? I think we've got an issue with a bus failure of some description. It's an electrical issue. So I've got an autopilot in. I've lost flight director commands here, and we've got Jim's autopilot in now, so that's a priority. We're flying now, navigating, so we're inbound to our route. We're going bound to 370 at Mach decimal 27. Now these issues here, what really could be causing this? None of the checklists are going to help with anything here. I can try and reset the order, but that's tripping. Speed trim fail, Mach trim fail. Something is causing all of these to simultaneously happen, and I've also lost one of my pressurization controllers, so I'm on to alternate now. I'm going to prioritize this first, the auto fail checklist, because I just want to switch over to the alternate controller, which it has done automatically. So let me just get my QRH out. Add air systems. We're going to go to auto fail. So auto fail, condition one or more of these has occurred, automatic pressurization mode has failed, and the cabin altitude is uncontrollable. The cabin altitude is completely controllable, it's level, so we are pressurization, and the objective is to maintain control of cabin altitude. You might have to increase thrust to ensure sufficient air supply, and pressurization mode selected to alternate. Choose one. Auto fail light is extinguished, and cabin altitude is controllable. Auto fail light is illuminated, or cabin altitude is uncontrollable. So that has extinguished it, and we've met that first objective. So that just simply says continue normal operation. We've lost a bleed source here as well. Something, look, this is really unusual. So we've lost bleed from the left system too. Look at the left duct pressure. So left bleeds on, packs an auto. The isolation valve stays all open in this situation. Or no, it should be closed in this situation, sorry. So to get wing anti-ice, I'd need to open this.
Hopline 213, Santa Maria radio, boa tarde, go ahead.
So yeah, we've lost the pressurization system as well. Something's a bit amiss here. Something doesn't quite seem right here.
Sorry.
I'm thinking we've got an electrical issue that's caused something with the tiebreaker
Yeah, it's already
potentially closing. We've got the flight director engaged here, so we've got a fault with that flight director. So Jim is going to have to fly, but how that's affected all these, I really don't know. This is engineering knowledge. So we, at points like this, an ECAM would be useful. It would be. So yeah, something has happened electrically here, but we have automation. The aircraft's flying fine on the autopilot. We've lost command. It's gone to flight director again. So something is really fishy here. The autopilot is not engaged. This would suggest there's no autopilot. Look at the FMA. It says FD. Command. It keeps tripping the autopilot. Now this is a bug, guys. In any situation where you lose command, you get the autopilot disconnect horn. That's not happening. I think this is a PMDG bug, because we're losing command going to flight director with the lights still illuminated and no autopilot fail sound here. So something is really wrong at the moment. I don't know if it's you got to remember these are essentially video game. Well, I know you hate the term, but they're replicating a complex machine, but we're losing command with no sign of it losing. So we have got to watch that like a hawk. Anytime, guys, I've missed that and it no longer says command, please bring it to my attention, because that means the autopilot is disconnected. We should get, at any point the autopilot failing, the two-tone siren to alert the crew, but that just went to flight director at some point without me touching anything there. LeJules, there's no bugs in the PMG aircraft. I know, it's absolutely perfect. Don't dare say that before route. It's very good, but it ain't perfect. Right, and again, working through the checklist for the other issues isn't going to do anything. I will go through these anyway. Did I just see the aircraft rock? No, we're still in command. We're still in command. It's just what's next. We're not even halfway. We're going to carry on. I would be very concerned if I had this combinations of issues here, and I would potentially consider a pan call, but at the moment we have pressurization, we have no fuel leak, engines are running fine, we're able to navigate safely. So I would be considering this as a serious issue here. Right, so you know, running through these checklists, zone temp, this is a zone duct overheat, pushing the trip reset button sometimes will clear that, or a flight deck controller has failed. Basically, you want to cool it down. I think this is associated with sort of the standby power system powering certain systems. I'm not so sure. And then if the cabin temperature is controllable, that's fine. We can ignore that. Yaw damper is simply, we can have a look at that checklist as well. It is tripping. Flight controls yaw damper. Let's have a little look at the QRH here. So it does say yaw damper off then on. If it stays illuminated, turn the switch off. And if you have abnormal yaw and roll, do the following. And it just simply, well, no, it doesn't say anything there, but it does now say avoid areas of moderate severe turbulence if turbulence is encountered and passenger comfort becomes affected. Reduce airspeed and descend to a lower altitude. Do not exceed flat 30. Okay, so we've got to do a flat 30 landing at today. No flat 40. So yes. Oh yeah, no LNAV, no VNAV. Yeah, we're in out hold, but that was me. We'll try VNAV again. Okay, VNAV's gone back in. LNAV, VNAV's fine. So yeah, yaw damper we've dealt with. Mac trim fail, speed trim fail. Okay, this will be to do with the speed trim system. So this will be under here. Mac trim fail, very simple checklist. It now says the Mac trim system has failed. Limit airspeed to 280 knots or Mach decimal 8.2. That's the end of the checklist, and the speed trim fail will be something to do with the speed trim system no longer working. This only works when you're hand flying. Basically, it adds a simulated loading to try and encourage you to return to the in-trim position. But the speed trim system is now inoperative. It just simply says the speed trim system will not provide trim inputs when deviating from a trimmed airspeed. Continue normal operation. So we've dealt with those checklists. There's nothing that's said to us. Land at the nearest suitable airport. We've obviously had something go off which has caused all of these failures to simultaneously occur. It's making me think it's something to do with the standby electrical system, or maybe one of the bus tie breakers hasn't closed or opened properly. It's unusual, especially with the autopilot. But everything is now under control. We've dealt with the checklists. We're level. The autopilot's in, and we're not even a quarter of the way. I would be calling maintenance on the cell phone. I would be. My goodness. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, do appreciate if you'd like it as well. Thank you very much for whoever that was in chat. It does help the channel out. It'll also recommend the video to others, so I do appreciate that. Thank you very much for your consideration. There we are. Yamato, I just realised that you're going to land, if the plane allows, 20 kilometres from my hometown. Oh, excellent. Well, I'll get there in one piece, really. It might be in more than one piece, though. Oh, I think we've had another issue. And it has not flagged up here the master caution. Can anyone see what it is? Why that's not flagged up the master caution, I don't know. That should do. It was reset. Good look there. This is going worse than the last flight. At this point in the first failure stream, we hadn't had hardly any issues. We're a quarter of the way here. We have multiple issues. Well spotted. Fuel pump, guys. Fuel pump. So this is a reasonably minor issue, as long as the other pump's running fine. So the condition is the fuel pump pressure is low. The fuel pump low pressure lights might flicker when tank quantity is low and the airplane is in turbulent air or climb or descent, which we're not. Choose one. Main tank fuel pump low pressure light is illuminated. Both main tank fuel pump low pressure lights are illuminated. One centre tank or both centre tanks. So we have one main tank fuel pump pressure light illuminated. Turn the switch off. Sufficient fuel pressure is available for normal operation. End of checklist. So there we are. That's another issue added. There we are. Pressurization controller we know about, but it's going to be some sort of electrical issue which has triggered these faults. Right. Continue. Normal operation. Oh dear. There's only ocean. The nearest land is where we've departed from. It's about 300 miles away.
Hello, it is
Minimums. Approaching minimums.
Oh dear. Thank you very much, whoever that was. Christian Austin for the 23 months as a member. You still have 2 good engines, Captain. No need to worry. Absolutely. We're carrying on. Yeah. Now, if I'm honest, if this is happening to you in real life, I'd be really seriously considering an air turn back, because I really cannot conclude what's caused these multiple issues. And I mean, obviously, this is beyond the realms of reality. You know, these that's not related to this. That's not related to that. There's other issues going on here. But yeah, we've lost. It could be some sort of. I think it's some sort of electrical issues which is affecting the AFDS, the Order Flight Director System, because I can engage the autopilot. It seems to be staying in here at the moment. Staying in. Yeah, this is not SU-12, Captain Ray. This is the older version. I fired up the sim prior to the update. I was on the stand for about 2 hours prior to the stream. The sim seems to handle it well. There's a rat chewing through all the wires. J-Dog, with the yaw damper in up, do you potentially have to manually use rudder to prevent Dutch roll? Or, you know, we're not trained to deal with these situations. I would recommend against that, because you're likely to create pilot-induced oscillations. The rudder on a commercial jet airliner is a significantly, a hugely powerful flight control. You know, that rudder here, sorry for the noise here, is designed to counteract an engine failure at low speeds, you know, low aerodynamic lift from the vertical stabilizer and the rudder there. So to be used in normal speeds with 2 engines there, you're going to induce incredibly violent oscillations. So you're all probably aware of the A310 that crashed in New York quite soon after 9/11. That was caused by the pilot rapidly moving the left and right rudder inputs there. Don't forget, there's 3,000 pounds of force generated by the flight controls. If you start pumping that rudder, it can't be. I swear to you, if you start pumping the rudder on an aircraft like this or any commercial airliner, you're going to blow the thing off. So yeah, you've got to be very careful manipulating the rudder in flight. We only use it for 2 situations: to decrab during takeoff and landing, and also to what's the word I'm looking for? If you engine failure, if you have asymmetry there. DJ Jared, can you explain the difference between a PAN call and an emergency declaration to ATC? Is there a difference? Yes, a PAN is an urgency situation where immediate assistance isn't required, but you're making ATC aware you are dealing with a technical issue. A Mayday is we have a serious situation, we require assistance, can you get everyone else out of our way? You know, so you're talking emergency Maydays would be a rapid depressurization, engine fires or smoke, fire fumes, things like a tyre failure as well, because we actually declared we actually simulate that as an emergency situation. Whereas a PAN would be for maybe a medical issue, or I'd declare a PAN for this situation, perhaps. You know, just saying we're dealing with issues, but we're continuing normal operation. But what we'd actually state there, you just request multiple issues. I'd also request a priority landing. But yeah, we'll go from there. Balance the fuel tanks, Captain. Yes, there's only 20 kilos difference, so we're keeping a close eye on that. In fact, we'll do a fuel check at 38 degrees north, 020 west. But yeah, 10 kilos, that's just from the engine start. We're not going to balance the fuel there. But yeah, almost approaching the halfway point, the point at which we'd actually perhaps consider continuing in the event of a serious situation. But don't forget, we still have Porto Santo to the south, which is suitable, albeit a VOR and RNAV approach. Why is tyre failure Mayday? Well, the aircraft is designed to land with one tyre intact, but there is the potential for runway overrun, the other tyre failing. You want to have the emergency stand services, you know, there landing. Now, it could be operator specific, but I do know that my operator, tyre failure is considered an emergency situation, and you are required to make a Mayday call. Steve M, would you change your squawk code at all at this point, or just advise ATC of the issue? So yeah, there's a sort of common conception that the squawk code is set, you know, straight away. Now that's sort of when I'd set 7700 if I was really busy with a serious situation. I haven't got time to talk to ATC. I'd set that squawk so they know we're dealing with a serious situation. We do that during rapid depressurization. Otherwise, I'd wait for ATC to ask us to squawk it. Why not a PAN call? Yeah, so I am sort of online. Yeah, I mean, I know you want me to do things as realistically as possible, but a PAN in this simulated world where I am sort of more inclined to carry on for your entertainment. Is best suited to that control. Now, if I have a serious situation where I need a Mayday call, that's rapid depressurization, I will do that. Right, let's do a quick fuel check here. Oh god, that made me jump. That made me jump. I pressed the change view button and I wasn't expecting it. Right, here's the flight plan. I probably should be flying slop now, but I really don't want to mess around with this FMC. So we should be 43 minutes into the flight. We are 40. Remember, we've got that lovely shortcut on the SIDS. That makes sense. We should have 5.8 tons. I forgot to mention, guys, I didn't take any extra fuel. I took standard fuel for this sector. Weather was perfect. I forgot to mention that at the start of the stream. So, as I would do in real life, we should have 5.9. We have 6.2. So we've got 300 kilos extra. Again, that makes sense with the shortcut. And we should have burnt 2.8 tons. We've burnt 2.7. So fuel burn, we have fuel in our tanks as expected at this stage. You said you probably... Yeah, I do want to be in Jim's seat. Look, there's no flight director information. I need to be in Jim's seat. You're right. Flight fan, you captain or FO? Captain, would you believe it or not? I'd be doubting it watching my content. Right, well, it seems now... We've had a good period of time now without any serious issues. We've got flight director fault, or an issue with the AFDS captain side. We've lost the ISFD. We've had something which triggered all these issues at once. But this is unusual. We've got some duct pressure issue, but we'd have indications for a packer up bleed trip-off issue. Something's not quite right here. With the modelling, because we've got the bleed on, pack's on auto, we've got no pack or bleed trip off, but we've lost all duct pressure from the left engine. So the right pressure, we're only pressurised right now with the right bleed pressurising the right pack. And if I open this, correct me if I'm wrong, we should be getting duct pressure over to the right side. Makes me think we've got a massive leak somewhere. But then you might most likely get a...
1 Delta Zulu, identification terminated, continue with Santa Maria on HF.
Santa Maria on HF, and just confirm the frequency was 132075?
FM 132075, would you like to assume ADS Charlie, or do you prefer position report?
ADS Charlie, please. Quite busy. Fucking 2-1 Delta Zulu, thank you.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Thanks. So, yeah, he's using ADS-B to see my position, so I don't have to give position reports anymore. Otherwise, I'd say go it. And then we're going to go over to this frequency on VHF2. Perfect. So we're sort of monitoring the VHF frequency, and then we've got HF simulated on box 2. Best check in. Santa Maria radio is Alpha 2 on Delta Zulu, maintaining flight level 370. Just past 38 degrees north 020 west, inbound to Comet, estimated Comet time 17390.
Alpha 2 and Delta Zulu, Santa Maria, Roger, maintain HF watch.
Monitoring HF watch, Alpha 2 on Delta Zulu. So remember, there's no radar environment here. We're in oceanic airspace, Santa Maria oceanic, and unless you have cell call, you have to do what we're doing, which is continuously monitoring HF. Listening to the static and waiting for the controller to get to you, or you can contact them if you have a request. Imagine if we have an engine 2 failure now. Yes, we would still turn back or consider Porto Santo. Really looking at the weather, we're sort of in the middle here. But no, engines are running, fuel is fine. We're almost halfway, believe it or not. Would the APU help with the bleed air? It can't be used as a bleed air source this high, Martin Keel, only up to 17,000 feet. Aaron Borson, why are you so calm? Well, I'm not in the real aeroplane. I'm sat at my desk with my best mate Jack next to me, sleeping and having fun with you guys. Would you like to see Jack? You just heard me say his name. Hold on. You can hear me listening to HF. There he is. Look, we had a lovely little run in the field near our house just prior to the stream. He cannot wait for the impending Mayday call and ditching. Oh, thanks, Jack. He must have wished it because I've just seen a master caution light illuminate right in front of me. Right, Cam, back in position. Wonderful. Master caution, anti-ice, window overheat. I could deal with that. Okay, reset the master caution. Well, Jim's now pilot flying, so Flight Sim, can you get the window overheat non-normal checklist? My radios. Let's have a look here. Window overheats. Just getting a checklist out now. Anti-ice and rain. Window overheat. Very simple checklist, okay. So, condition is a window overheat has occurred. Window heat switch on the affected side. So that's my window here, so that's this window here, the heat's affected. Switch that off. Wait 2 to 5 minutes. Well, obviously this isn't going to reset anything, but we'll follow the checklist. This allows it to cool down, and then we'll recycle it on, see what happens if it doesn't work. Fan the window with the QRH. Panic. Excellent. Since your standby unit has gone, do you need to exit RVSM airspace as you only have 2 altimeters left? Is that what is actually gone, Sebron? I've lost my standby... Is it my standby electrical power system? I would not know, and I do have 2 altimeters. As far as I can see, this is working, seeing it matches here. But yes, to be an RVSM, you need 2 altimeters, autopilot without hold function, minimum. But are you, Sebron, can I ask your background as well? Are you an engineer of some sort? Anyone else see that something else that's potentially failed as well? I think that's only just popped up now. Anyone see it? Another failure. They're coming in thick and fast. Oh no! God damn it. TCAS, we have had a transponder failure. Right, well, at least we're in oceanic airspace, no radar control, but that could cause issues with approaching airspace. Right, this is just wonderful, isn't it? Oh, why do I do this? Oh dear. Right, off the top of my head, is there a TCAS checklist? I'm not sure if there is. Looking at the QRH here quickly. We're running 2 checklists at once here. There is not a TCAS fail checklist, okay, so what we'll do... Why have we got no... So we should have a transponder fail here, so what I'm going to do is switch to 2. Yeah, we should have this light on, transponder fail, but it's not. Interestingly, I think it's still working on that sim. So, alright, I've tried box 2. Altimeter source, doesn't matter which one. Well, actually, I might go to number 2, see we're having issues on the right side. Right, I've tried box 2, still says TCAS failed. Alright, lovely. Oh dear, oh dear. ADSB and TCAS are not related? No, I believe they're not. Thanks for subscribing there. Perfect time to subscribe. Adam's Trips Reports. May I recommend you don't go on a trip with Alpaca Airways on our leased aircraft here. Oh dear. Yeah, maybe it's the transponder's fine. It's just the traffic collision avoidance system isn't working anymore. Yeah, actually, you know what? Sorry, I'm getting muddled up here. The transponders is absolutely fine. It's probably just the TCAS. My apologies. I'm getting all a bit hot and flustered here. 727 viewers. 737 viewers in Topic Penguin. How apt. The overhead panel normally looks really boring. Well, not this one. Right, 2 to 5 minutes. Well, there's 3. I'll end the timer now. Let's complete the window overheat checklist. So window overheat on.
Minimums.
On.
Approaching minimums.
Okay, I wonder if that's cleared the fault. Can PMDG faults be cleared, I wonder? Interesting. That's actually worked. Okay, so window overheat. If after 2 to 5 minutes, put the window heat switch back on. Choose one. Overheat light stays extinguished. Window overheat light illuminates again. It's there. Yeah, I spoke too soon. Right, it's back on again. So it's obviously got an issue. Window overheat light now off. And limit airspeed to 250 knots below 10,000 feet. Puts both windshield air controls, or pull both windshield air controls. Okay, they're not modelled. This prevents This vents conditioned air to the inside of the windshield for defogging. Right, and that is master caution, anti-ice, the overheat. Okay, so we've got several restrictions we need to follow here, guys. We've got to make sure we don't go above 280 knots in the descent for the yaw damper and the Mach trim system, or vice versa. We've got to make sure we're definitely doing 250 knots below 10,000 for the window overheat. Would anyone like to hazard a guess why we limit speed 250 knots below 100 for the window heat? It is the speed we need to comply with in Class A, B, C, D. But why would the QRH say limit 250 knots below 10,000 feet with the window heat inoperative? Transponder's still pinging on VATSIM at least. Yeah, so this is this isn't a transponder issue. This is the TCAS system's failed. So the ability for traffic collision. No, not friction. Bird strike. Yeah, you've got it, Joshua. John Hell FD. Impact resistance. No friction. Bird strike. Correct. So the heated window not only prevents it from defogging, it makes the window less susceptible to cracking if it was to be hit by a foreign object, aka a bird. I'd rather hope it's a bird than nothing else. So that's one of the reasons they want you to limit the speed, to just reduce the chance of damage if you were to hit anything. There you are. Guys, we're approaching the equal time point. It was 58 minutes into the flight, so we have got a slight tailwind over on average. So serious issues now. I just make a right turn if critical time, non-time available events. I'd be going to Porto Santo, so we're talking uncontained fires, uncontained smoke, fumes. We'd be emergency descending into Porto Santo. Otherwise, I think we'll now crack on towards Lisbon. Oops, that made me jump. Lisbon, and then onwards to Faro. Julian, which failures till now? Ones we know about, working down here. TCAS failure. We lost the ISFD, which was first. We've had some sort of electrical issue, someone believes from the standby power system, which has caused a fault with the AFDS system on the captain's side. We've lost a fuel pump. We've lost the yaw damper. The speed trim system and Mach trim systems failed. We've got a zone temp. One of the pressurization controllers has failed, and we have some sort of strange unenunciated bleed failure. We have no bleed pressure from the left bleed, even though we have no pack or bleed trip off light. It's very unusual. I'll try resetting it. No, it's not doing anything. It doesn't reset the zone temp either. So there we are. Poof. Just switched off work. Did we crash yet? No, we're still here, Alex. We're limping towards mainland Europe. But are you guys having fun? I know you are enjoying these streams. Well, I say you are. This is only the second time we've done it, but we've had such a positive feedback from the other one. It wouldn't have been so long before we had to do this. 'Tis but a scratch. Adam Wallace, if your TCAS has failed, would you switch to select as standby or TA instead of TARA? No, it wouldn't make any difference. ATC can see us. I think out off, and then transponder or greater, so long they'll then appear as mode Sierra. So I'd leave it TARA. Alex H, I can't use flat 40 again. It was a limitation with the yaw damper. It said flat 30. Don't use flat 40 for landing. Use flat 30. Joey, this is a very educational stream so far. Thank you. Now, if you're on your type rating or a line pilot or whatever that is, please don't use any of the guidance here. I am using my knowledge, sort of very limited knowledge, let's say, on dealing with these multiple issues. I actually find it very educational for myself personally, because it allows me to look at the QRH, and I'd recommend an aircraft like the PMDG or the mod to supplement your training. But bear in mind that they are entertainment products. They are never going to be certified to be accurate or 100% accurate, but they are good for flicking switches, running checklists like we've been doing as well. I can't say everything that's happened in the PMDG would happen exactly as per the real aircraft with the failures we've experienced so far today. Sibram, what does the MEL state about TCAS inoperative in the 737? Great question. I'll have a little look. Obviously we're not constrained by the MEL whilst in flight, and it's only until we've landed. Let me have a little look for you here. And keep the command, the autopilot seems to be staying in, doesn't it now? So we can sort of still keep an eye on it. So TCAS. TCAS system. Alert tones, no. Navigation. Traffic collision avoidance system. So, TCAS you can dispatch, none required for dispatch. However, prior to dispatch, the system needs to be deactivated by engineering and secured. En route or approach procedures do not require TCAS use. Repairs have to be made within 3 calendar days, and the aircraft must not be operated in uncontrolled airspace. So we can dispatch. We cannot operate in uncontrolled airspace for obvious reasons, and obviously under a radar controlled environment, ATC are going to keep you clear there. But yes, refer to national rules. So certain countries might have restrictions related to TCAS serviceability, but you can dispatch with no TCAS. Excess data message, I think that's self-induced. There we go. Right, we've passed the equal time point, guys. We are not we're not now returning to Ponta Delgada. We can delete that now. We have 400 miles. We're now within 400 miles, 1 hour's flight time of Lisbon. If everything was to be critical, though, we would make a turn south and head to Porto Santo. You should try a failure stream on the Antonov 225. Would be quite the circus. It's just flying it from A to B is a bit of a circus. Oh dear me. Flight Decker, what things have failed so far? Many. I'd say approaching 10. It could... TJ, it could be. I don't know. I wonder if they've modelled that with PMDG. Yeah, there's nothing that's suggesting there's a fault with the bleed system. We've not had any trip-offs or anything like that. We had the zone temp issues. Honestly, I don't... It's pressurising fine on the remaining thing, but this would suggest that there's no pressurisation. Right, what is next? Funny if you had to hand fly from here. Autopilot failures are modelled. Oh, we're halfway though, guys, and we're not swimming yet. Deary me. Hey, buddy, you okay? Domino's in a 3, 2, 1 now. Stop it. Soon be as list what is working. It would be Romulus. Yeah, if I was to... What would make my life difficult, guys, would be manual reversion. So we lose all hydraulics, and I'm having to hand fly, making inputs with the control column, which is very challenging in real life. Or if we lose all AC power, that's also extremely challenging too. Count the salmons are hungry. Unbelievable. Oh, Thomas, but I bought my swimming goggles. Unbelievable. And in the end, gear fails to extend. Oh, yeah. I think there's gear issues there. Torn 4x4.
50, 40, 30.
It's a CRM
20,
reference.
10.
Thank you very much for your $15. Thank you very much, sir. I'm in from Australia.
Can't smell Swiss cheese yet.
Hey, those holes could quite soon be aligning to a 4x4. Thank you very much for your donation, sir. Yes, the potential of having a serious problem increases by the minute, and my ability of dealing with it as well. But yeah, workload at the moment is low. I have had moments where it was a little higher, but we shall continue eastbound towards Faro. Thank you very much. Charlie Banks says, love you too. Thank you very much for sharing your affection. How many cheese holes do you have so far? We've got hundreds of holes. They haven't quite aligned up yet, that's all. That's what you get for having your D-check at Llama Maintenance. Someone needs to make a Llama Airways livery for these streams. Yoke has found, it's gone. Yeah, Yoke disappeared. Yeah, Yoke has caved into the aircraft. Unbelievable. You should do Lanzarote to Gatwick, 3 hours. I wouldn't make it. Oh, I just heard the toilet flush. But there could be issues going on in the background. Remember, not all these failures are enunciated, so there could be issues I'm unaware of until perhaps I can figure something or change a mode in the automation. We're only aware of what happens to us. Yeah, quote of the century, but yeah, at the moment, recall, we've got the flight controls, fuel and air conditioning, which we know about. Nothing's illuminated there so far. Excess data, yeah, that's normal, it's because I've zoomed out too far. Bubblegum, what if both IRSs fail, that's a very difficult day in the office. We can reset the IRS system to just get basic attitude information, but we'd lose all the navigation systems as well, and the autopilots. Horrible that is. IRS faults are awful. Who remembers the Air Star and Embraer where the flight controls were inverted the wrong way? That happened on a flight straight out of a maintenance visit. I remember, I think there's a radio transcript of that. Awful. Awful. They got it on the ground though, didn't they? Actually, yeah, VOR time. I see your point here. Let's just, I think, just in case we have some significant issues and we do lose navigation systems, well, let's just head east. And we have, let's go to the IFR chart. We've got a Sagres VOR here, so that's the first VOR on the mainland, which is sort of right on the southwest coast of Portugal, and we should be on the arrival, so I can tune that 13.9. And we'd have charts still available to us on our iPads if the worst was to happen. So let's change this to VOR 13.9. It's already there. 13.9. Perfect. Okay, so that's something we've backed up with. So far, so good. You bust out the 6 and navigate by stars. Well, 50 years ago, they were all trained to do that. They're using Navigraph. If you use your NDs, 100% cheating. Well, no. Well, if I turn off the airplane follow feature, absolutely not cheating, because we have access to these charts. So obviously, if I'm doing this with the airplane, yes. But I would have access to charts in real life, so that is not cheating having access to the charts. Time since last failure that we know about. The window overheat, wasn't it? 10 minutes ago. And then the TCAS, 10 minutes. We've had at least 9-10 failures here. And we're probably going to double the amount of failures before we get anywhere near Faro. So you look at how much has happened so far. But the engines are ticking fine. They're ticking over fine. No using the tracking feature in Navigraph. Correct. That is cheating. I'll give you that. Right. See, I really want to have a break, but I can't. Yeah, I was just having a look at the schematics of the electrics because I'm really curious after we landed to see what's happened. Just having a look here.
Minimums, approaching minimums.
Chris Tuttle, hope you're doing very well. Thank you very much for your membership. You've already been a member in the past, I believe. Hope you're doing mighty fine. Thank you very much for tuning in for this stream. We'll be the pilots monitoring. Take the break. I'm okay, Eddie. I wouldn't trust any of you. Oh dear. Julian, what are actions following the Mac trim failure? The checklist says continue normal operation, but don't exceed Mac decimal 8 to 80 knots. Larry 77G driver and I was recently speculating on alpaca maintenance, and we kind of thought Jim's in Brentford cousin from the Midlands was the chief mechanic. Oh, wonderful. Well, I don't know, how did that conversation start? Chris, membership laps. No, I'm back to the wagon. Thank you very much, buddy. Members, head over to the Discord. We're doing an Assetto Corsa race. We'd love as many people to take part as possible. That's on Thursday, and I'll be streaming it on the second channel. I have a second channel, guys, if you're interested. Last stream was about 9 months ago on it, but I'm going to blow off the dust, and we're going to do some streams on the second channel. Links in the video description below. It's called Airline Pilot Plays. Francois, thank you. My eyes are glued to those N1 percentages. Great. I think with the electrical issue, when we had all those faults that happened at once, it was something to do with either the bus tie brake or the cross bus tie relay system. And my concern is this sometimes happens when you get glide slope capture and the flight director's on, the cross bus tie relay closes. I can't off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly what happens, but it's something to do if you have a failure of an electrical system. The ILS guidance is fine on the respective sides, so both the ILS receivers still work. I wonder if it has something to do with that. Yeah, I'm very curious. Jack can take over, can't he? Possibly. This ATC controller, he's been providing ATC for the entire sector, switching between seats. Great. Very generous of him to spend his time providing ATC. Mysteries of the chiller. Are pilots allowed to get out of their seat to stretch during a flight? Yes. Absolutely. We can also use the toilets. We're not going to do it for 25 minutes, but yeah, if you're doing Canaries there and back, 4.5 hours, you know, I stand up a couple of times. I use the toilet at least once. Good for you. You just have a very set procedures to follow, especially if you leave into the cabin, which I don't want to dive into. But yeah, in the cockpit, there's just about enough room to stand up, as long as you're less than 6 feet tall. Otherwise, you're going to have to bend down slightly. But yeah, it's comfortable. It's for me. I'm not a tall man. I'm not particularly short. I'm sort of in between. I am the average height of a UK male. Hello, Ikri. Hope you're doing well. Haven't spoken to you in a while. How's it going? Parachutes on the ready. They're already on. Jim is currently holding my leg. He's a little concerned. Oh dear. Jules, okay, yeah, a slight hunch. Bubblegum R circuit breakers model, not in the PMDG 737. Saw an amber on the aft overhead panel. Oh, hello, Eagle Eyes. Oh, reverser. Oh no, no! I just did that myself. Oh, you idiot! No! Oh, you idiot! I just accidentally tripped the flipping IRS with the stupid mouse, and I've just. Oh no! Oh, I've got no autopilot for the rest of the sector, guys. I'm hand flying. Oh, no. A self-induced failure. Reverser fault as well. Oh, what? No, come on. Has that come back automatically? That shouldn't happen. It won't like me. It's like LNAV though. It's probably because I'm not an intercept heading. That shouldn't happen. You can't align in flight. It's impossible. It's aligned. Okay. Sus PMDG. I'm not. It's not liking LNAV though. Right. Oh no. Actually, look at this. 094085. Not liking this. And I've got. Oh, I can't. So I've got. Oh my god. I've got dodgy PFD this side and dodgy PFD this side. I'm absolutely screwed. Right, I've got a heading. Okay, this ND's okay. What an absolute nincompoop. I can't believe I did that. It's self-induced. I could do that on a normal stream. Why did I do that today? You touch this switch in flight, you buggered. Alright, reverse a fault. Okay, I've got autopilot though, and heading, so I'm going to use that to my advantage. It's not accepting LNAV. We should have no autopilot here. But we have autopilot, I have outhold, and I have heading, so I can follow the magenta line using my heading bug. Risk it and touch the switches again. Nope.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, Santa Maria.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, go ahead.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, contact Lisboa Control 125.550.
Lisboa Control 125550, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. Bye-bye, sir. Thanks to the ATC. It might be him again. Okay. Attitude, yeah, guys, it's very difficult to do in real life. You can't just rotate it like that. Lisboa, good. Boa tarde, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, flight level 370, inbound to Comet. Thank you very much, Chris. I'll read that in a second.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, still with Santa Maria.
Oh, sorry about that, thank you. That's my fault. Lisboa, Boa tarde, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, flight level 370, direct to Comet. I've got the wrong frequency.
Santa Maria.
Thank God that autopilot magically seems to work. That should not have happened. If you mess around with the alignment flight, that's it. You're gone. But we have got some serious. So I've got one good PFD here and one good ND here. I might as well just turn these off because that's heading magnetic. Interesting. Let me just check in here. Lisboa, Botard, Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, maintaining flight level 370, inbound to Comet. Why is that not working?
Have a nice flight.
Oh, now something else happened now. I've lost an IDG. Right, ELEC, and autopilot's disconnected as well. Right, let me just get my autopilot back in. Command, I think I've lost an IDG. Yeah, I have. Source off. I've lost a source of AC power as well. My workload is off the scale here. And Lisbon, Centre Boy, Tide Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, flight level 370 Comet. I need to start the APU.
Station calling you, call sign only.
Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu.
Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, Lisboa, hello, squawk 0733.
0733 Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu. We are seriously... it's in 0733. Oh, is he saying he could read it? I don't know. Right, I need to do the IDG failure.
Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, stand by for identification, I'll call you back.
Thank you. Right, let's get the AP... loss of source of AC power, because this is quite serious now. I'm only down to one AC source at the moment, so I'm going to get APU started. I need to get that other one there, so that should start up fine. Oh, this is going far worse than the other one. Far, far worse. Oh, I'm still quite far away from anywhere that's suitable to land. Right, QRH.
Portugal 1908, wind at Faro is 240 degrees,
Faro.
6 knots. The QNH 1017.
Electrical,
You can expect runway 28 for
source off,
departure.
right, source off.
Clear
Both
to,
transfer burst is not
via
powered by the
Delhi
last
1
powered
to
source.
Climb
Choose
flight
one.
level 60
Both source of lights are
and
illuminated, but only one source of
47
light is illuminated. Only one source of lights illuminated. Right, gen side on the affected side. So on, that's going to trip the autopilot. No, it's not modelled. So whenever you do that, even if I think it's not available, it doesn't work. Choose one. Source of light stays extinguished. Source of light stays illuminated. Go to step 4. Step 4. APU is available for start. APU is not available. It's available, and we started. When APU is running, APU gen switch affected side, right side on.
Taxi 73 Juliet Charlie, continue with unit
Switch
now. Enjoy
to
your flight.
Command A, but I don't think that's working properly. No, I've lost autopilot A. So this will trip the autopilot. Come on, please work. Because I'm going to be down to one source of AC power. That is a Mayday.
Alright,
Come on. Okay.
Thanks, welcome back. Great. Ryanair 1042, continue unit now. Enjoy your flight. Bye bye.
Oh, why is the APU not coming? We're down to one source of electrical power. That is a very serious situation. Oh, it's there. Right, this is going to trip the autopilot. Remember, I can't switch it here. Okay, command B. Okay, command engaged in heading and VNAV path. So I think I can see what's happened with this ND now. It's no longer track up display, it's gone heading track.
Portugal 19.
Okay, choose one. Source of light extinguishes, or source of light stays illuminated. It's extinguished. Continue normal operation. Okay, so we're now down to 2 sources of AC power. IDG 1 and APU as well is provided to the right side. So we have 2 sources of AC power. If we lose the other IDG or the APU now, we're in a Mayday situation, as we'll only have 1 source of AC power. Right, there we are. Oh, okay, we're back in control. I am very fortunate that I have the autopilot because I accidentally moved that switch. That should be game over as far as I'm concerned, unless you're very quick in real life. I don't think so. I think that switch, if you lose alignment, you're moving, you're game over. Right, we're okay. We're okay. We have had, I think, every single system affected. Fuel issues, flight controls, yaw damper, smack trim, speed failure, IDG. We've actually had an IDG failure, I think. So that was actually I think that was actually the source of the issue is the IDG failure, not the source off. So let's have a look here. Yeah, drive lights illuminated. So this is a generator IDG failure. That's actually caused that, but that also gave us the source off.
That's actually 1804
So I need to do this now.
as well. Hello.
And this is irreversible in flight, so I need to disconnect the IDG because it could be damaging the aircraft. So action is irreversible for the drive. A generator drive malfunction has occurred if this flight's on with the engine running. Generator drive disconnect switch confirm. Hold in the disconnect position momentarily, and this is irreversible in flight. This mechanically disconnects the IDG from the engine. So you ready?
That's actually 1804 identified.
IDG is disconnected. APU is available on the bus. Alright, so we've had an IDG failure too. So that's done. We only have... That's completely... We can't actually reset that now. Oh, God.
It's actually 1804, descend now
160 miles to top of descent.
And the Ryanair in front of you, is he flying with...
Still have Porto Santo here, but now Lisbon's becoming the preferred option, not Porto Santo. So I'd actually go to... If something critical happened, we'd divert to Lisbon.
Right, okay, well, I'm just going to give you some delay vectors just because you're getting a bit
David Wink, in reality, with all these issues, wouldn't you be diverting already rather than waiting around to wind up in a Mayday land? Absolutely. We would be back on the ground in Porto Santo by now. But for your entertainment, I have continued. With this level of issues here, this would not happen. These systems would independently fail like they have. We've also got the reverser light as well, which we know about. So yeah, oh absolutely. If this happened to me in real life now, I'd be on the ground because there'd be something. Well, it wouldn't happen. This level of
you're not yet in my airspace,
technical issues. So,
me,
but I want to ask you a question, chap. What would you like me to do?
Catholic,
Immediately divert or continue to Faro? I think I know what the answer will be. Just call maintenance, bro. Oh, Burnley nuts, I've had a rough day at work today. Just logged on this, I already feel miles better. Well, thank you, I feel worse. It's fine, keep going, continue. Oh, some people are saying divert. Continue please, Faro. Keep flying till the wings fall off. Oh my goodness me, I've just realised my alerts are off.
Beeline 3 Hotel Echo,
oh my goodness, yeah, I've muted that.
You're not inside
so guys, to everyone that has donated, sorry, I'll ping this up now. First it was Chris Tuttle, I muted it when I was talking to ATC.
30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Chris Tuttle, for the $5.
Wow, PMDG simulates user failures too? Incredibly realistic.
The pronunciation. Cheers, Crystal. Thank you very much for your $5. Lots of failures from not only PMDG, but from myself. Yes, unbelievable comment. The bird is going your way. Thank you, Jonathan Wiltshire, as well for the £10.
40,
I missed that too.
30,
oh, we've got
20,
gifted subs
10.
coming in as well. Thank you very much. I'll pick these one at a time. Jonathan Wiltshire, thank you.
Just this smiley face.
Thank you, Flight Decker.
50,
£2 as well.
40, 30, 20.
Thank you very much
10.
indeed. Very kind. Faro's a ticket that I paid. I want to arrive to Faro. Well, very good.
I'll break more than the set failures. Let me fly.
Thank you very much. And David Hamilton, thank you very much for the 10 gifted members. Very, very kind of you. This is going to ping off and be very annoying for a short while. So what I will do, I will mute this one, and I'll remember to unmute it. That's been unmuted. And welcome to all the new members: Skate on Blade, Brendan McCreet, Flying Nanook, Gothic, BX7 iOS, Lucas, Skittish, Alexi, and Quarter Page. These are really good gifted members actually. I know it's random, but it seems to be giving it to a lot of people who watch the streams frequently. So welcome on board, guys.
Foxtrot, can you please file your flight plan? You've got a Krakow to Bari file, but
there we are.
Slightly far away from where you currently fly.
Right. So yeah, I must stress.
Thanks.
I don't want you thinking that in real life I'd be...
21 Delta Zulu, you are now identified, so you can expect the ILS Zulu approach runway 28 at Faro. Fly now direct Foxtrot Romeo 604.
Expect the ILS Zulu runway 28, routing now direct to Foxtrot Romeo 604, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. So obviously, yeah, as I was saying, we've really digressed from how in real life I deal with these multiple issues. I would declare a Mayday, I'd be on the ground either back in Santos Dumont or Porto Santo. But where's the fun in that? Let's see how far we can go. So FR604, execute. I'm having to use heading select, remember. And that's in the box.
Doing 7 Juliet, Mike Unicom now. Enjoy your flight, bye-bye.
Just want the plan here. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. ILS Zulu 28. So I was planning if there was no ATC to do the approach, the Yankee, which is the procedural approach. We're going to go via Gebty, so I'll just join the dots. Perfect. And top of descent now is 168 miles away. Okay. Whew. Welcome, Daniel Dupont. Hope you're doing well. Is the fuel consumption affected with the APU on in flight? Yes, and there are quoted figures, but not a huge amount. You're talking less than 100 kilos an hour, but yeah, we are burning fuel obviously from running the APU. We have one source of electrical power, one bleed air source, providing pressurisation. We are hanging on by a thread.
Well, to continue the approach, or would you like to hold over to boost them out?
Yeah, runway 28, not ideal. Oh, there's another one. Master caution. Doors. After entry. Okay, right. This might not necessarily be serious. Obviously, it sounds very alarming. This doesn't mean the door is open. First thing you'd immediately check, look at that. Pressurization, it's fine. We've got 8,000 feet. Okay, so it's likely what would happen is you've got a drunk passenger who has decided to open the handle and move the door. Your chances of actually physically opening the door are nigh impossible. So let's do the checklist anyway. There is one to cater for this. There goes my suitcase, someone said in chat. Oh dear, right, where are we? Airplane General and door, where are you? Service door, that's what I want.
This is Aqua Forward evening, this is Eurowings 901 Victor Golf.
So aft entry, so forward service to aft service.
CPLC is one.
Eurowings 91 Victor Golf, fellows,
entry,
45240.
45242 Eurowings 901 Victor Golf.
There we are, so entry door, non-normal checklist covers aft entry, so one or more entry doors are not closed and secure. Step 1, instruct the cabin crew to verify that the door handle is in the closed position or to move the handle to the closed position if possible. Choose one, handle is in the closed, handle is not in the closed. Handle is in the closed position, let's imagine. Go to step 3. Pressurization is normal, pressurization is not normal. The door is in a completely safe configuration, continue normal operation. And that's the end of a checklist. So it's probably the sensor, there's a little sensor on it which confirms the position of the door. Might have not quite be in contact with the actual mechanism when the door handle's closed. But look, pressurization's fine. We are able to continue normal operation. End of checklist. Thank God I've got an autopilot. I thought for a while I'd be hand flying for the rest of that sector. And remember, LNAV is not working properly at all. It just won't accept LNAV. So we are having to fly heading. We are inbound to FR604. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Blady, that was me. I was out. Let me out. Unbelievable. Right, I've unmuted the alerts now. Thank you very much to David Hamilton for all those gifted members. Very kind, and welcome to all the new members to the channel as well. Oh dear, unbelievable. Just better turn ATC up here slightly. I better start setting up for the approach soon, just as we would do normally. We're now 24 minutes in here. I think last stream we did this. We had already completed a rapid depressurization by this point. Now I've said it.
50,
Oh, that made me jump.
40,
Thanks, David Hamilton.
30, 20.
Very, very kind of you,
10.
sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy all. I was lucky enough to win one of the giveaways.
Oh, thank you, David.
Giving back to this great community. Loving the task saturation captain.
I'm just taking a deep breath here for a second. David Hamilton, thank you very much for the $5 and for your very generous gesture there. You didn't have to do that at all to give back as well. I can't remember what it was you won, David. Was it the most recent giveaway for the the group flight. I honestly can't remember, but thank you very much for your continued support, my friend. That's very kind. Tom Pascoe, 38 months as a member. He says this bathroom seems awfully windy. Unbelievable. Thank you very much. Oh dear.
Portugal 583 when ready to descend flight level 250.
William Simon, this is the toilet wrong door, sorry. Right, I'm going to quickly get things set up here whilst we are dealing with all of these
1804, resume on navigation direct Divok, descend flight level 100, 100.
Right, my mind's all over. Right, let's just quickly bash these winds in. 250 below 100.
Right, 7613.
Remember, speed max 280 in descent. Wind's going in now.
0 direct to Akulu.
50, 40,
Domino Mosina, thank you very much,
20,
one of my moderators.
10.
That's very generous of you. Thanks, buddy. What's he had to say? Thank you.
Sky is blue, roses are red. Should have chosen Ryanair, flying with you in a broken 737 instead.
Very reliable airline is all Ryanair. Thank you very much for your donation, very kind of you, and appreciate it there, and for your lovely rhyme. Thank you very much as well. Yes, not going to be flying with Alpaca Airways. Well, remember what I said? This is a leased Llama International aircraft for Alpaca Airways. That's why we're having so many issues today. We're just dealing with them one at a time. Thank you very much for your donation. Lovely. Right, 297 at 6. QNH in Faro, presuming VNAV works perfectly fine, is 1017. It's a lovely day, clear skies, 250 at 6 knots.
Tazavi 62 kilo, thank you. Cleared visual approach from a 05
my fixed rings in. I don't like being heads down like this. I can't see what's going on above us. 10-4, we're at 37,000 feet, so around 100 miles. 111 miles is where top of descent is. I'm having to make constant heading adjustments as well to stay on track. We're about half a mile off our track here. So fixed rings are in.
It's actually 1804. If you can do me 260 knots in the descent, or about 260 or less.
So we're not flying any arrival. We're routing direct
that
to
works, then maintain 240.
this
IFR
604 point. Let me just get rid of this chart because I don't need it. So unpin that, pin that. And then we're going to go direct to Gebty eventually. So we're routing in from the south via FR 604, coming in then direct to Gebty. ILS frequencies then, we'll put that on standby because I still want the VOR active just in case it goes to
I'll advise Lisbon will be closing in around 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Portugal
282
identified, climb flight level 190.
282.
Landing flight level 190.
And minimums, Cat 1 ILS 218
Portugal
feet.
1908 identified, climb flight level 180.
Fuel looks good, okay.
Still
fine.
The other airport, so you continue to 190.
1017 is set. Frequencies, courses, minimums are set.
Vector's
Vector's in, or he's going offline, so if not, position via Gebty. Left turn onto the ILS. Platform is at 2,000 feet, starting at 6 miles. There we are, FF28, 2,000 feet, and then down to the runway. Again, PMDG, they don't model the descent path. It should say 3 degrees in here, which is the descent path 3 degrees. I have to go around. I really don't want to, but if I have a serious situation, I'm going to miss the runway. Toga, go around, flat 15, sit ground, thrust, pause, radio, climb, gear up. We're going to use heading, select zone, knob's not working. Straight out to 3,000 feet, past 2,000 feet, left turn to Gimel to hold. There we are. Landing performance, a nice long runway. We can't use flat 40. We're going to burn about 900 kilos, landing weight 61.6. Flat 30, order brake 3. We only have one reverser. We'll still select reverse thrust. We'll still select reverse thrust on the number 2 engine, and allow for sufficient brake cooling there. There we are. Thank you very much. Indeed, who am I saying that to? Andre Bjorn, 26 months a member. Thank you very much for being here for over 2 years. Appreciate the support. Join the Alpaca emoji I see. Cam PBZ, what airline do you fly for? A very frequently asked question. one that is quite blindingly obvious to many, but one I wish not to disclose. Thank you very much for respecting my privacy. I'm very fortunate my operator gives me full permission to stream, create content, which I am very grateful for. There we are. What's up to Nightbot? Nightbot got to sleep. Has Nightbot been working all day, or not at all? Uh-oh. Let me put another a coin in the machine. Nightbot is in op. Great, I'm sending all my lovely information. Okay, it should be working. Let me just reconnect the channel.
50, 40, 30,
okay, should be working.
20, 10.
The Streamlabs is working. Thank you, Cam. Yes, I saw your donation. He flies for Alpaca Airways. Brilliant. And welcome to whoever that was subscribed as well. Thank you. Right, I have reset Nightbot, so touch wood, it should be working now. Everyone's trying. It's not working, is it? Oh dear. Wake up, Nightbot. Nightbot failed. It was meant to be providing interesting and information for you all sector. There we are. Right, well, we're limping towards the Portuguese coastline. Again, if we had an utter time-critical serious situation, I would divert to Lisbon. It's a little closer. But as we get closer to top of descent, we can then slightly commit, or commit to Faro. GME is alive, that is good. That is correct, we are approaching the VOR. We're almost back on track now as well. The wind's constantly changing, so it'll just take 3 degrees to the right. Aditya, how bad is the thrust and symmetry of one reverser as in op? Not as bad as during the departure, I suppose. Nowhere near as bad. In fact, with one reverser inoperative, we still use that one reverser. There is a little bit of asymmetry, but it's easily manageable with the rudder.
Unfortunately, I'm going to be heading off.
Does failure of the standby instruments call for an immediate diversion? No, but there are quite strict dispatch requirements, daytime VMC required. What a shame it would be if the entire leg system would fail. What a shame it would be, Jules. What a shame. We're halfway there. We're actually a third of the way, aren't we? Because we still have got the APU running now. It's a bit worried that wouldn't start for a second.
And runner 7613, you can do now 220 knots or great. Okay.
Archery type rating only failures, or sometimes you fly the whole sector. Right at the beginning, Martin, you do a simple flight from A to B, but quite soon after, non-normal situations are introduced.
Welcome.
Or a hydraulic leak, that would be a shame. Yeah, if we were to have a hydraulic leak now, on top of everything else, it would be off the scale, difficult to deal with. Welcome, Nictozo Cunel. Jacob Smith, where you're based. Again, that's something I don't wish to disclose. Thank you very much for respecting my privacy and for your understanding. I'm based in the UK. Hello, Onat. Just joined in. What's the condition of the aeroplane? I'll let someone in chat describe the situation we're experiencing at the moment. I'd say controllable. Easily controllable. Just waiting for the next lovely situation. Aeroplane, a bit. Engine's still running. That is true. Right, we're all set up for the approach as well. Just that top of descent is taking so long to get there. 18:10, 9 minutes, so we'll probably have at least one failure in that time. Obviously nothing visually wrong, whereas in reality with some of the issues we had with smoke or something.
Descend flight level 60, there's no speed restriction.
Everyone in the cabin has gone missing. Landing gear failure, don't.
Madrid 13297.
We're 3/4 of the way. We're 3/4 of the way.
Madrid 13297, Shamrock 49 Delta. Cheers.
Have you lost a wing yet? Someone said no.
Right now, 4 Kilo Tango, contact Madrid 13297.
Minimum.
NT thanks, 28 months to everybody. Sorry I'm late. lame job got in the way again. I just wanted to say good luck. We're all counting on you. You're not the first person to mention that today. Cheers, N2. Thank you very much for your continued support.
On 7613, cleared RMP approach runway 35, report.
Have we checked the oil levels recently? Let's have a look. All okay. Oil temperature, oil quantity, it is a little lower, but when the engines are running that does drop. Vibration's fine, fuel flow's fine, all the parameters are normal. So we blank that because if any of them are exceeded, it automatically pops up.
That's actually 1804, descend 4,000
Spy flies,
feet,
electric 1 out of 10,
10,
pressure 4 out of 10, and flight control 7 out of 10, engine 10 out of 10. Let it fail soon. Thanks. Giovanni, good question actually. If flight director has failed, which side's master? I am though on this side as master. But you can. Let me just turn off the flight directors completely. Yeah, you see, look. It's failed that system, so I only have that flight director available. So the autopilot's still in, and we just need to select roll mode, pitch mode. Perfect. Well, if both engines fail, you might end up there all night. Yes. It would be to a Turkish prison. What? Should stick to Airbus. Maybe. Check command. Oh yeah. Oh yes. We have no autopilot. Look, this is not right. It's in flight director, but command's engaged. Why does it do that? That shouldn't happen. It should stay in command if you turn the flight directors off. I'll leave that there so I know it's failed. But yeah, look, flight director's engaged again. It's not disconnecting the autopilot. That's a PMDG-ism. That shouldn't happen. Yeah, I'm 99.9% sure when you cycle the flight directors off, you don't lose the autopilot. It just reverts to control wheel steering, or the autopilot stays in. I'm not going to have to try it at work either. That's some paperwork. If I'm in a level D sim anytime soon, I'll have a look. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. Do you wish the 7.3 had ICAS ECAM like the modern Boeings or Airbus? Today, right now, yes. But in reality, this level of these issues we're experiencing now wouldn't happen in reality. But so I'd say no, not in real life. Cheers, Toran 4x4 again. He says, it's not Reddit, Dodgy Dave needs to pick his game up, he says. He does, yeah, he needs to provide some more unreliability. You know, you're getting them from A to B. Cheers, buddy, thanks for another donation. Bubblegum, do you think Zebo does a simulation of the systems better? I think PMDG is better. It has more modelling and in-depth modelling of systems, especially when it deals with failures. I have to say, it's pretty good. We've got a few little quirks here which I'm not so sure about. But, for example, the RS, when I accidentally flicked that to attitude, that should be gone for the rest of the sector. By some miracle, it immediately came back. Albeit, though, I have lost track-up information. It's now heading up, which would sort of... maybe it completed the attitude line, but I'm pretty sure the autopilot's still not available there.
35 clear to land.
7 Aviator, do you fly the Max? And if so, do you fly it more than the NG now? 50-50, really. I've been flying the Max a little bit more, but we have a few NGs now. Almost gliding distance, we are, yes. We're sort of, if both engines go pop, we could probably drag it in straight in 1-0, although I'd rather go to Lisbon and have the height to play with. Yeah. There's elements of this flight which are easier than last stream, when we had the engine, when we had the multiple failures. But there's certain issues which we've had to deal with. Like the workload's been generally higher on this sector. Now it's okay. I've got automation in. I'm holding a heading and an altitude, whereas last stream on Vectors we lost all the displays and we had multiple display failures. By some miracle, I've not experienced any engine issues in either stream yet. Piano, sorry to repeat the post. Did you ever hear about the F-15 that landed with only one wing? I have heard about it. I've seen the picture of that F-15. It had literally no wing left. Incredible.
Yeah, I've already told you once, please. Could do with Unicom's 1228.
Oh dear, this cross control, I better listen in.
Sierra descend flight level 100. It's the A Demi
You lost the
9
IDG. That's almost an engine issue. It's an electrical issue. But, yeah. If we lose the other one now, we'll have the APU as the only source of AC power. Oh yeah, no, you're right, Tom Pascoe. Yeah, on landing, the engine was, what was it? It was wrong. I couldn't close it fully, could I? It was sort of like another fuel pump. Oh.
And all stations that are left on this frequency,
well,
unfortunately, I'm going to be heading off now. His tea's ready. So, if you with Unicom 1228, enjoy your flight. Bye.
Enjoy your dinner.
Thanks.
What you got?
I'm not sure. I need to go downstairs and find out.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Right, over to Unicom. We could have found out what he was having for dinner. Yes, fuel pumps inoperative. I am incredibly lucky it's the other side, because what would happen if it was potentially the other side? Anyone in chat would like to answer that? I'll grab the low pressure fuel pump checklist again. We've already followed it once today, but that is another failure, adding to the incredibly long list of failures. So fuel pump low pressure, we know what to do already. One tank off, continue normal operation. There we are. No imbalance, should be fine. Engine failure is correct, Mohammed. Potentially. At high altitudes here, we're very much reliant on the fuel pumps providing positive fuel flow to the engine, to provide thrust. At high altitude, you're very reliant on that system. There is a suction feed system where if both pumps fail, the engine can suction feed still, but at high altitudes, there's a high risk of flame out. Due to the, I think it's fuel cavitation or bubbling of some system there. So yes, that's it. Well done, well spotted, everyone. That again I think that's another PMDG-ism, that should have illuminated the master caution recall. I've noticed this in the last stream and the other one. Certain lights that illuminate, if it's for the first time, don't illuminate the recall. They should always illuminate if the light comes on for the first time. And also, last stream, we were getting master cautions even though there was no light illuminated. So yeah, well done. Is the aft entry light new? No, we knew about that one, Jessica. And look at that, guys. We've reached top of descent. So if we were to have a real critical issue now, I'd be confident that we can get into Faro. So no ATC now, so we're going to go down to, let's just set 80 for now. Let's leave it in VNAV, see if it works. Curious. Oh yeah, we're having to fly from Jim's side as well. And we're still on the heading. I think my heading flying has been very accurate. This is no longer a track up display. There we are, VNAV's working, retard. Are you allowed to have the APU on above flight level 170? Absolutely, Gockit. Master caution. What you are referring to is using it as an APU, using it as a bleed source, not above 17,000. So what we've got now, master caution, anti-ice, left alpha vane heaters failed. Okay, so we'll reset the master caution. That's a relatively minor issue. look at this overhead panel. I mean, come on, this is just unbelievable. Right. Let's have a look at this. So that's going to be anti-ice rain, and it is probe heat. So if any of the probe heat lights illuminate, one or more of the probe heats has failed. So in this case, it's the alpha vane on the left-hand side. Step 1: avoid icing conditions. Flight in icing conditions may result in erroneous flight instrument indications. End of checklist. So that's it. Another failure onto the list. And guys, I really need to use the toilet. I'm just going to nip out now. I'll be back in 1 minute. Behave yourself when I come back. I don't want you to say anything in chat which will throw me off, but I do really need to go to the little boy's room. So I'll be back very shortly. Thank you. Your controls. I'm back. What happened? I think we're all okay. Oh, I had to go. I've been sat here for 2.5 hours. Drank a whole bottle of water. Well, sorry, Nightbot's it's not been working today. Seems to have not made... yeah, thanks for that. Missile strike. Oh my god, the engine exploded. I can see the engines are running fine. Convince him there was another failure, but don't tell him what. Right, let's do a quick panel scan. Reverser. That didn't illuminate the master caution, which it should have done. That should be your engine. So you can see, look, that's not modelled correctly. We should have engine, ENG, for the reverser, but that's not worked. That's a little bug. Fuel pumps, IDG we know about the door. We're on the other pressure controller. We know about this. Okay, window heat, we know about that. Okay, we know about the flight director fault. Right, and down here we know about the TCAS failure. Okay, and we're descending. Wonderful. Seatbelt sign failed. That's my sort of failure. Oil. Everyone wants to keep checking the oil. But oil quantity is fine. 13, 12. 11, 12. That's okay. We'll keep an eye on it. With the failed IRS, could you still use control wheel steering? Oh, I don't know off the top of my head why POC. I'd have to dive into the manuals for that. But usually, I'm going to have a quick look at the checklist. If you have one IRS fault, you can then switch over to the other IRS. I can't remember if you can actually use the autopilot. Let's have a little look here. Honestly, these streams, they make your brain go to mush.
Approaching minimums.
Thanks, Matthew Marchant. Thank you very much for your continued support as a member. Over 2 years as a member. I hope you're doing very well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Land ahoy, ladies and gentlemen. There is the southwest coast of Portugal. Right, let me have a little look at this checklist. That's why I love doing these streams, because it really makes you think about things, and when I'm at work I can then sort of brush up on it myself. So RS fault in flight. Choose the working IRS. Disengage the autopilot. Yeah. Now, if you have any IRS fault, the autopilot cannot be engaged. So I would include control wheel steering in that. So the QRH, whether it would work, I don't know, but the QRH says, you know, autopilot cannot be engaged. Whether that's actually a limitation as per se, but I just fly it manually. And you can't use the autothrottle either. That's Matthew's membership ping. St. Vincent Cape on site, is that what it's called? I've only flown over it several times. Well, we're limping in towards Faro though. Wait, check that the L2 door doesn't open as soon as the cabin depressurizes. Okay, it shouldn't. We haven't had any pressurization issues today. Oh, Wipeout, you're most welcome. And these streams actually have a real benefit for me, because it allows me to question afterwards. Oh, I did this, and I actually look in the manuals myself. And you know, as line pilots, you've got to have the basic knowledge at all times and good knowledge. But certain technical areas, if you don't go over frequently, you sort of get a little on the back of your mind. You know how all the core systems work and things like that. But things like the RS fault we had in the PMDG, we had the issue because I accidentally moved that switch. I'm 100% confident if you move that out of nav, that's it, game over. No autopilot for the rest of the flight. However, I was very quickly switching it back to nav, and it seems to then just appear back correctly, albeit this has now gone heading up display, but the autopilot's working absolutely fine. So it's sort of, this is the dangers of these simulators as well. It can give you a sort of false sense of security, but with regards to if certain systems work, but I'm confident on knowing how the aircraft does work. And also the issues we received today, multiple minor and major issues, it just would not happen in real life like this. This is FSX, no, Microsoft Flight Simulator Lelo 333, welcome aboard. Shipton wants me to crash it, thank you so much. Look, wind's coming in from the north now, so we're drifting off track slightly. Remember, I have no LNAV, why that's not working exactly, I'm not so sure. But VNAV's working beautifully. Is the speed window supposed to say arm? Yes, absolutely in this phase. In Vane path, we're on the idle path to center arm is correct. You should try it on your next real flight. Absolutely not. I just joined. How many failures now? Over 10, easily. And guys, if you have just tuned in, welcome. We're in our descent to the engine failure stream. We've made it all the way to Portugal. We've not had it. We have. I digress. We have issues which would have caused me to divert in real life, but for the sake of your entertainment, there's nothing that's critically caused me significant issues. But we've had electrical issues, fuel issues, flight control issues, anti-ice and rain issues too here, pressurization issues, but we've managed to control the pressurization. The door handle won't close properly, IDG's disconnected, TCAS failure, electrical standby power issues, lost the flight directors. That side, ISFD was the first thing to go, and that's all that we know about. There could be some hidden gremlins waiting to surprise us as we get onto the approach. Now I think if we get on the ground without having any engine issues, what we should do is do a stream where we select the failure option as engines and select it maybe to 2 in 1 hour. And then that way, obviously both engines failing, but yeah, maybe the odds of an engine issue happening are less than another issue, because I've done a total of 4 hours flying with these engine failure streams, not had any engine issues yet. Thomas, 100%, that is the SOP, absolutely. Carry on. Oh yeah, missing the right reverser. Yeah, well no, we actually have had an engine issue. Yeah, we've got a reverser fault. Don't list them in, just you wait. Right, seatbelt signs coming on. They've been running around in the back as if there's been no issues. And it seems to be working. Back on our track now, so just make a couple of degrees turn to the left. And we're approaching Faro. Fuel's fine, we've got 3.6 on board. Remember, took standard fuel for this sector. The panel is a Christmas tree, pretty much. Is there on the 737 something like open descent like on the Airbus? Is that level change, guys? I don't know. I can't remember what the difference is. Oh, hello, Nightbot. Had a nice break, have you? Promoted by merch. Good timing. But obviously, I don't push that stuff, so it's very overpriced. Not completely outside of my control. But thank you very much, Nightbot. I think Commander should be working now. I don't know why. I just reset it about 10 minutes ago. Oh yes, the flight recorder. I'm going to turn that on. I remember last stream I turned it on whilst hand flying with multiple issues, but I will turn it on now. And don't forget, I'm not using the SU12 version of Microsoft Flight Simulator. The sim was running prior to the update, and we're using the older version of the PMDG 737 as well. I've clicked record already. We're already recording the flight. There we are, Faro weather, lovely, 2506, clear skies, 90 degrees. Exceeding 250 knots for the windscreen sim 737 pilot, that is only below 10,000 feet. Oh, we've got Faro approach online. I will advise, due to a technical issue, we're having to maintain a heading. Faro approach, Ponta Delgada 2-1 Delta Zulu, descending flight level 80. We're unable RNAV on a heading of 095 degrees, and for a self position onto ILS Zulu 28. It's making him think. Oh, I just did that on Unicom, you prat. Far approach by Tide Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, descending to flight level 80 on a radar heading 095 degrees, unable RNAV due to a technical issue, and we'd like to request vectors for ILS 28 left. Oh, 28 left, why did I say that?
Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu,
Far approach
identified, descent to 3000 feet, QNH 1017, fly heading 105.
Descend 3,000 feet, radar heading 105 degrees, Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu. Yeah, I went, runway 28. bit of a curveball there. Francois Joubert, have you ever done a passenger brief on frequency? No comment. Sorry, what was that? I did that on my command upgrade check flight. I did it then, yeah. That's the only time I've done it. Victor, no. Disappointingly, PMDG doesn't have flight control issues modelled. So no issues with flaps, no issues with the primary flight controls, which would be very fun for you to watch. I'm sort of glad in a way, but no, none of the flight control systems have failed. Auto brake, yes, I haven't actually set auto brake. Is it working? It is! Auto brake 3.
Alpaca 2 Delta Zulu, turn left 5 degrees for track correction.
Left 5 degrees, Alpaca 2 on Delta Zulu. I think that's the same controller from earlier. He's obviously a Portuguese area controller, Oceanic, and he's coming in here as well. Always use the hand mic. Joshua at Setford, I did use the hand mic. Joshua, are you an operator? But I bet you know which hand mic I use now. There's 2 guys. Always use the hand mic for the PAs, but I picked up this one. I just did it. Bernardo Reese, thank you very much for providing ATC for us today, and you know, the issues haven't been really enough in the sim well for me to warrant a Mayday call, but I appreciate the realism there. Thank you. Amazing. Right, well, we're descending nicely. I see someone there. Oh, back angle still 10 degrees. Thank you. Better turn the cockpit lighting up as well, as long as it's working. But yes, as I said, disappointing flight control issues are not modelled, but I have to say PMDG have modelled a pretty decent failure system. It is pretty impressive. Joshua, oh, what a compliment, hopefully in about 2 to 3 years. Ah, excellent, you're possibly a colleague of mine, but yes, you'll do it once. You'll do it once. King Air pilot, my PA system in the King Air is turning around talking very loudly to the passengers. Thank you very much, Shubham. You were wishing me to crash earlier, now you're saying you love my style and commentary. Thank you very much for your change of heart as well. AV flight level 350 from Tel Aviv as well. RexX, I am aware of the PMDG update. Yes, I just wanted to use the non-SU12 version of the sim and the existing version of the PMDG before I did this stream today. Frezzy 16 volts, despite what you've suggested, no. I'm very happy here in my limping PMDG 737. It's gotten us here in one piece. Almost. Scottish, is the PMDG 737-800 worth it? Yes, it's the best 737 you'll ever probably get in Microsoft Flight Simulator, unless another developer comes along. There we are, Faro, just off to our left-hand side. There it is. So if we were to have a serious issues in both engines go pop, we could easily self-position onto the approach. Are we allowed to look at the external model? You can Metix Void, but there'll be nothing modelled there. Right, that's 10,000, 3,000 feet. Checks coming in now. So fuel, we've got 2 pumps on associated with the faults, and we have sufficient fuel here for at least to go around. Lights are on. APU is on, we know about. The angular bank's 25 degrees. Pressurization,
30,
broken but set
20,
and pressurizing.
10.
Recall, no point. Checks complete. Thanks, Stratocaster, for the $5, buddy.
Great to catch you live again. I hope this flight has been smooth so far.
I've had moments where my workload was off the scale when we had the little IRS issue and the autopilot playing around, but we sort of, with a bit of trial and error, we've managed to get some automation here. I think in reality with what happened with the IRS earlier, I would not have an autopilot and I would have had to have disconnected the autothrottle too. That would treble my workload easily hand flying, but yeah. We're doing okay so far, and we're less than 10 minutes from landing. We're on downwind, so let's see. My confidence is increasing. Oh. Thomas, you caused the issue. Don't blame PMDG. Oh, I did cause the issue with the IRS, but the fact that the alignment then realigned and I was able to engage the autopilot, that is an issue with PMDG. Yeah, I flicked it off. But what should have happened if it was modelled correctly is bye-bye, no more IRS and no more ability to re-engage the autopilot. You're not a modder for PMDG, are you, Thomas? I enjoyed the bit where ADC asked flight to sim to stand by. I imagined him thinking, you think you're busy? There we are, downwind. I am very curious to see what was actually failed. We got on the ground there. Definitely a boger after the last stream. Oh, I'm not bogering this. We're on the ground, guys. I think we're okay. If the engine was to pop now, we can just self-position now. But even with an engine failure...
Delta Zulu Faro approach.
Go ahead.
Would you like a 6 mile final, 9 mile final, or a longer final for the runway 28?
Yeah, once we're being Gebty, we can accept a turn on to base legs onto about a 10-mile final,
50,
please. Alpha 2 Delta Zulu. Just
30,
run profile for that.
10 mile final, roger.
10.
Just like they ask in Faro in real life as well. Really nice. Stratocost again for $2. You see it again.
Aye, Captain.
Aye. Thank you very much, Stratocost. Hope you're doing well. Thanks again for another donation. 25-mile final. We've got issues. Yeah. Well, we're okay. The profile is based pretty much on a 10-mile final. In fact, what I'm going to do now is go level change. Oh no, no level change. Okay, we've got no level change. Have we got vertical speed? We've got vertical speed. All right. So we've lost level change. That doesn't work for some unknown reason. We'll go VS and we'll slow down now. We can accept a turn on base then. Yeah, I am going to land from the other seat. You're right. We have no flight rate to the other one. I just want to slow down. In fact, I'm just going to extend the speed brake here. Love those little vibrations from FS Realistic. Let's turn the music off as well. Oh, I trusted control with Jim. I think it was just a little blip from ATC. There's no one transmitting at the moment. I've got the box open. Right, so I'm going to select flap 1 now. This should work fine, guys, because there's no flight control failures modelled with PMDG. Not so worried about my profile here. I just want to get the speed back. Flap 5, 180 knots. CDR, don't worry about either. Just going to set 1,000 feet now. Radio failure again. Ooh, better just check. No, it seems okay for now.
Alpaca 2 and Delta Zulu, turn right heading 010.
Turn left 010 degrees, Alpaca 2 and Delta Zulu. I think you said right, but I'm not doing that. Right, left 010. That's almost perfect for us. I'm just leave it at 1,000 feet per minute here. No ILS indications. No, because it's not active yet. Thanks for reminding me. There we are. But we are going to rely on Jim's side. And we've had no issues with the FMC at all. Right, we're all okay. Engines are fine.
Alpaca 2 and Delta Zulu, turn left heading 320. Cleared ILS Zulu approach, runway 28.
Left 320 degrees on that heading, cleared ILS Zulu 28. Alpaca 2 on Delta Zulu. 320.
Faro approach,
Beautifully on profile here. We're now going to redirect to
stand to runway 28, ready for departure.
Runway 2 Whiskey for approach for start, wind 250 degrees 6 knots, runway 28 clear for
just a
takeoff.
very shallow descent now. Right, great
Runway
sensing
28
arming Vorlock.
Runway 2
Vorlock's not arming. Alright, so we're going to hand fly this and heading in vertical speed. That's not a problem. There's something really wrong with this aircraft. Vorlock not working. Okay. Flap 5 speed. Speed brake is stowed. I'm actually going to lower that. Well, there can be gear issues, I think. So no Vorlock. We're going to have to hand fly or use heading select to get onto this localizer and fly in vertical speed. That's fine. The actual indications are correct, and we're using Jim's side here. But yeah, can't arm Vorlock, and I can't arm approach. Both of those are a block. Unbelievable. This could be an issue with the cross bus tie relay. I think it's DC bus 1, DC bus 2. So it messes around with the ILS receivers and automation, so we'll have to see. I'm dropping the gear now. Well, we'll wait a little longer. Perfect. We've been cleared approach, so technically I should wait until 3000, but with the emergencies here I don't want to level off. I'm just going to set 2000. It's hanging in there. We've got no Vorlock, no approach, localizer alive, set runway heading. We've got no track up display here as well, so I'm having to use the track up display this side. And my localizer. So I'm going to have to, because I've got no glide slope, I'm going to have to set 300 feet here. Got track up display. Okay. I can do this raw data though. Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu established. Flap 10.
Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, continue approach. We check 250 degrees 6 knots.
Continue approach, Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu. So we're using VS and heading, flying this raw data, 281, so I just need a few more degrees into wind here. We're going to drop the gear now.
3000 feet, proceed direct.
Flat 15. Okay. Oh no, skid won't come down! Oh no! Ah! Okay, we're going around off this, guys, we need to plan this.
Roger, Ryanair 2 Whiskey.
Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, we're going around, we have a gear issue, stand by for intentions.
Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, roger.
So, 3000 feet, I really don't want to deal with this long. So 3000 feet checked, let's accelerate to the up speed. So we're doing a non-standard go around here. Flap 5, that's going to stop the gear warning horn. Mayday, 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 Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, we have a nose gear extension issue. We'll try and extend it shortly. Request delayed vectors for runway 28.
Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, roger, Mayday, turn left heading 220.
Left 220 degrees, Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu. It's not over yet, we're going to use the manual gear extension of course. And with all the other issues we're dealing with as well. So on delayed vectors, flaps are up after takeoff checklist, so gear is still down. I don't want to touch that until we've dealt with the other issues, that's fine. We've got 3-2 on board. Right, it's QRH gear disagreeing on normal checklist. You guys loving this? This is just ridiculous. Right, landing gear. Gear disagree checklist. So landing gear position disagrees with the landing gear position. Choose one. Landing gear is up, landing gear is off, landing gear is down, landing gear is down. Go to step 9. Check landing gear indicator lights. If a green indicator light is illuminated on either the central main panel or the overhead panel, the related gear is down and locked. No green light, it is not down and locked. Any landing gear is not down
50,
and locked. Go to the manual
40,
gear extension on 1418.
20, 10.
Thank you very much, whoever that is as well. Stratocast for the $5, thank you.
I just want to tell you good luck. We're all counting on you.
Thank you, Stratocast.
Dr. Rumax.
I think you appreciate that, thank you. We're going to carry on with the checklist though. Any landing gear is not down and locked, landing gear lever is jammed. Landing gear lever off if possible. Okay. Off. Manual gear extension pull, maximum 270 knots. Block is released when the handle is pulled to its limit and wait 15 seconds. Okay, so we need to pull the middle one. So pull. That sounds promising. We've got 3 green lights, guys! Woohoo! Check landing gear indicator lights.
Turn left heading 095.
095, Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu. We are now ready for another approach. Thank you.
Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, roger. When possible, report POB, endurance, and if you need any special assistance.
Thank you. So our endurance at the moment is 45 minutes, and we have total heads on board 185 plus GMA. Could you just confirm the heading again, please, Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu?
Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, copy all, turn left heading 090.
Left 090 degrees, Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, and I can confirm we are now ready for the approach.
Alpaca 2-1 Delta Zulu, roger.
Perfect, so 3 green lights, landing gear lever is in a down position, lands normally, end of the manual gear extension non-normal checklist. So this is very realistic ATC provided here. We've declared a Mayday. He might ask us to squawk 7700. Endurance, don't use FMC fuel predictions now with the gear down, it's unrealistic, and we have an N2 of... sorry, fuel flow now is about 2 tons now. We only have 1500, so endurance 45 minutes. So another 15 minutes, we're down to Mayday fuel. So next approach, we really need to consider committing to landing. ILS Zulu 28 is reinserted in the FMC. I'm just going to bring CF28 to the top, and we're now downwind for another approach. We're going to leave the gear down now. We're obviously not going to touch it until we're on another approach. Whew, there we are. So guys, yeah, gear didn't come down, nor nose gear extension issue. So we have now 3 green lights. Next tier is probably an engine failure. I was sort of thinking about in real life.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, turn left heading 070.
Left 070 degrees, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. In real life, had I had this amount of
Alpaca
failures.
21 Delta Zulu, confirm normal operations now?
Firm, yeah, we'd like to cancel this Mayday at this time then. Maintain 3,000 feet on the heady and ready for the approach, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, roger.
So you can catch your Mayday at any time. You can downgrade to a pan, upgrade from a pan to a Mayday. The situation isn't life-threatening anymore. I don't know the condition of the tyres or anything like that, so I've downgraded there. Again, millions of different options available, different situations. But yeah, there we are. Gears down and lock now. Oh dear, stuck throttle on landing again. Let's just quickly test it. Throttle's okay. On the throttle engage, MCP speed. Well done, PMDG. Nicely modelled all this stuff. Right, remember we only have 1 reverser. This is a very, very broken plane.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, turn left heading 030.
Left heading 030 degrees, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. So that go around I did was also quite non-standard. Because I wasn't in approach mode, I could have pushed Toga, but because I was in VS, I just wanted to lower the workload, set 3000, VS, add the thrust. Just waiting for the engine fire, don't. Because in this situation now, I've got to seriously consider ignoring the checklist, just landing. We're down to 3 tons of fuel. Remember, we're burning a lot more fuel in the FMC. Do not use this for fuel predictions. Inaccurate. Use your fuel flow, see how much fuel you got in your tanks. We're basically about 45 minutes from a flame out in this configuration. I can't believe that. Thank goodness it came down though. It's down and locked now. It should hopefully stay that way. Whew. Excellent controlling. Go so back to Zebo. They're both excellent. This probably models the systems a little better. Well, a little better, I think considerably better. Total gear collapse on touchdown. Yeah, place your bets. Rob G, he's emptied his entire bottle. Nervous wreck now. With a gravity gear extension, what are your divert options? Great question. You're far more limited.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, turn left heading 310, cleared ILS Zulu approach, runway 28.
Left 310 degrees on the heading, cleared ILS Zulu 28, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. Severely limited now, the Jules, if you've got the gear down. You want to make reference to the tables to see your fuel burn with the gear extended in flight. But yeah, we'd be committed to Faro now, with the weather as it is. Right, we're going to continue that turn, a little tight there, bank angle 30. Just going to roll past the localizer. We're cleared approach, so I'm going to set this a bit non-standard, because remember, approach is not working. Look, arm approach, nothing. Vorlock, nothing. Again, so we're going to have to use heading, select and vertical speed to stay on this autopilot. So I'm just going to set a very gradual descent now, just being slightly through the localizer, which is fine. I'll turn back onto it, and we'll go from there. Right, flap 1, 10 miles. Welcome. Straight to flap 5. Look at the sun setting. That's the only reason I did that. I just wanted to enjoy the view. Have you informed the cabin crew? No, of course we would have told the cabin crew everything, but cut me some slack. This is not easy. Right, about 800 feet to stay on the on the glide slope. Now Alpaca 2 on Delta Zulu established. Flap 10.
Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu, continue approach. We check 25 gauge.
continue approach, Alpaca 2 Delta Zulu. Alright, there's a localizer capture, runway heading 282. Slight wind from the right, so we'll give it a couple of degrees into wind.
KLM
Go to flap 15.
report when ready.
Gear warning horn's not going to go off now. There we are. Yeah, NITS briefing absolutely would have done. But yeah, there's only me. Oh my goodness me. Looks alright now. Right, on the speed brake. Start switch is continuous. Recall, what's the point of pushing that? Just speed brake. Just flap 30 to come. My VS and heading is very accurate though onto this ILS, very happy with that. And I know I should be using Jim's side, but again this guidance is just VS and heading. Right. Flaps 30 green lights are just waiting for a landing clearance. My airplane. And I'd utilise automation in this situation all the way down, but where's the fun in that? Just waiting for the landing checklist. Flying raw data.
Delta Zulu, wind 250 degrees, 6 knots, runway 28 clear to land.
Right, 28 clear to land, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. Lights are on, checks complete. I've recycled the flight directors. There is a flight director fault, but I would do this also on Jim's side. He's got no flight director information either, because we were using heading and vertical speeds. Gears down and locked. If an engine failure happens now, we are continuing. Below 1,000 feet, we just add thrust on the remaining engine, and then we deal with the emergency on the ground. And remember, we only have one reverse thrust as well. Who saw that jet? Heads down, stay down. Nah, you're right. At least we haven't had multiple display failures like last stream. Oh, look, I mean, we are actually... Look at the sun, guys. We are touching down as soon as that sun dips below the horizon. There it goes. Look how much little of the sun's left. You'd be blind in real life. It'd be so bright here. Okay. Thrust seems a little excessive. I'd want about 57% here, but she may be going a little fast now. To stay on this speed. She seems to be okay now. The passengers are completely unawares of all our going-ons here. Right. On profile checked. So 1 degree. You need about 57%. Thrust seems a little excessive, as I said, for this, but we'll do whatever it takes to maintain the speed. PLIs have appeared. All good. Checked. Check rate of descent, a bit too much. Checked. Engines are okay.
Minimums.
Continue. There's KLM waiting for us. See the smoke pouring out the back of the airplane.
50, 40, 30, 20,
check.
10.
Close. We're down. Right, speed brakes up. We've got master caution ELEC reversers. Why is that? I've got no reverser flags there, so I'm just going to stop. I think that might be adding thrust. Right, manual braking. I selected reversers, but no reversers deployed, and I was worried that it was actually adding thrust. Right, I'm being a bit careful here because I don't want to heat the brakes. I've got no reversers. Just gentle braking. I'm going to use all the runway as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Faro. On the ground. And we're going to roll to the end. Because I selected reversers.
Estava aqui com problema no pushback, eu sei que já me foi dada a clearance, agora vou buscar as linhas, experimentar a ver se tem o mesmo bug e já volto aqui, tá bem?
That's quite... I think that's a bug, because I have definitely got reverse thrust here, look, but no reverse renunciation at all, and it is working. But I cancelled it because no reverse came on, and in the sim I don't know if I'm adding thrust. That's a bit weird. So that's a little bit of a bug too, but we're down. Oh dear, another successful failure stream. And we haven't been swimming once yet. Oh, excellent. Right, here we are, let's taxi on to stand, see what's happened. Oh, right, place your bets then, guys. Failure number, what do you reckon? Oh dear, it was 14 last time, and this was a slightly longer flight.
KLM 0455, wind 280 degrees, 6 knots,
oh,
runway
crazy,
28,
absolutely crazy. Right, let's clean up. Flaps coming up. I want to change the configuration here. What a flight.
Delta Zulu, taxi via Papa, Alpha, stands 325.
Papa Alpha 325, Alpaca 21 Delta Zulu. Really appreciate all the ATC today and accommodating the issues. Thank you very much, sir. Bon dia.
Yeah, no worries.
That was really nice of him. Great ATC. Just added a little bit of extra realism to the stream there. Right, so yeah, wow. We got it down though in one piece. Engines are fine. I think next time we'll probably look at a failure stream. We'll look at sort of engine issues. We'll sort of just set on engine failures only. Be a bit more exciting there. You guys reckon 17, 18? My goodness me. Yeah, lots of failures. Right. Bravo. I can't even remember what he said. I wasn't listening properly. There's the KLM anyway. 325 was the stand number. Parking stands. Where'd you get? Oh no, I'm in the wrong airport. That's why. There we are. 24 knots. It's taxiing very nicely. Papa Alpha, thank you. 325. 324. Okay, Apron Sierra. Perfect. Thank you very much for reminding me. We'll take the next left onto Alpha then. Yeah, that you know, the PMDG is pretty decent job of all of that there. Really
40,
impressed.
30, 20.
There were a few
10.
little things which sort of were a little confusing with the IRS fault. That was the main one. Thank you very much there. Whoever that was, Torin 4x4 again, clapping and cheering in the back. Thank you very much. We didn't even know what was going on. The passengers back there, amazing. Right, let's do a bit more of this cleanup then. Lights off. Well, I'm just going to increase it. It's going to make it a little bit lighter. I know I always do live time, but I'm just going to knock it back 30 minutes just so we can sort of see everything that's failed afterwards. So coming in on Alpha. This is just a default scenery, guys, I'm afraid. Nothing special. Forgot to set missed approach altitude, but we were sort of committed to landing. 3,000 feet checked. Passengers new. PA got stuck on. Cheers, Alan. Brilliant. Oh, that was exhausting. Absolutely knackered now, but great fun. I don't think any of these taxiway markings are accurate. Right, 325. It's going to be on the right on a remote stand here. The AP is already running, and what we'll do, I think it's, oh, it could be this right here, I'm not so sure. We'll just go with this one. There we are. Perfect. Water brake can come off. Flight directors. I'll set the parking brake, the engine fire. We'll start. There we go. Where parking brake is set, and we've got one blue because the IDG is disconnected. The APU is on the bus that side. We can put it on the left side as well, and shut the engines down. I think there was an issue with one of the valves. Okay, the engines are spooling down. No, we have both the spar and engine valve light illuminated. Loads of master cautions. This will be associated with the engine shutdown. Just waiting for the N2 to drop below 20% so we can take the anti-coal light off. Oh. Is it 737 upgraded to the newest version? I don't know what you're referring to, Christoph, if it's the latest PMDG version. No, we're using the older one. Anti-collision light is off. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Faro. My goodness me. Look at this aeroplane. This is bonkers. TI units illuminated. That can only illuminate on the ground for certain issues. I think any TRI failure on the ground. Right, I'm really curious. What were the bets? I saw us in 15, 16, 17 errors. Are you ready? 16. Jesus Christ. 16 failures, guys. Thanks, Start Switches, yeah. 16 failures. That's balmy. Absolutely balmy. I can't believe it. Oh dear. That's a couple more than last time, but completely different this time round. Absolutely different. We had display issues last time, rapid depressurization last time as well. We didn't actually have anything, all of these individually are issues, but we didn't actually have anything sort of super serious. We just dealt with them as they came. That's a nightmare for the maintenance crew, yeah. That's a lot of tech log entries. Thank you very much, Shuey, 35 months. Don't worry, Dodgy Dave is on his way with many spares. Right, let's have a look at these then. Right, doors. We had, obviously we know about that. The, I think we just have to go active, don't we? Right, let's go through them. So generator 2 drive disconnects. We knew about that. So the IDG failed. We then disconnected it as per the checklist. TRU2 failed. So a transformer rectifier unit failed. That could have well been causing issues with the flight directors. DC bus 1 failed as well. So that again could be causing issues with the bus tiebreaker on final. So the cross bus tie relay, that automatically opens when you're on an ILS, or if you move the bus transfer switch to off, and it isolates the DC bus 1 from DC bus 2. But seeing we've got a DC bus failure, that with all these multiple issues, no wonder we had lots of little quirks going on there. Reverser failure. Now this one we didn't know about, because obviously we didn't have a fire, but look at that, the APU fire bottle discharge failed. So if we had a fire, one of the bottles wouldn't have gone off, which would have been a serious issue. 2 fuel pumps have failed. Engine, was it the engine or electric driven pump failed? So that one either happened on approach and we missed it, or it's just happened now. So look, the electric driven pump on system B has failed. We did not know about that. TCAS fail we knew about. We did not know about this. Wind shear system failed. That was the first thing to fail, the ISFD. There you go, look, that's why the nose wheel did not come down. The uplock for the failed for the nose wheel. So as we extend the gear, it uses system A pressure normally and gravity to assist it there. But look, the uplock didn't open, so we manually did it with the nose gear extension handle. Standby ADI fail? What's that? I don't know what that is. ADI. Hold on, let me look this one up. ADI. I don't even have. I'm looking in the manual. There's nothing that brings up ADI in the terminology. I have no idea what that is, guys. Standby ADI fail. It's the part of the flight instruments. I've typed in ADI in the FCOM and it. No, oh, there's something coming up here. Displayed above ADI. Oh. I think this is the ADI here, which gives you the information on the ND. Not so sure. Left alpha vane we knew about, front window overheat, and the door. There we are. So pretty much all the failures we saw, there was nothing unenunciated apart from the fire bottle. All of those we experienced. Now, just to show you what we could have had, APU, look, APU faults, automatic flight. Look, no actual issues with the autopilot. So look, you could have issues with the autopilot, auto throttle. Doors, obviously they could all open. So we did have an issue with the engine. EEC engine severe damage, flame out, EGT exceeded, oil leak, vibration, V1 VR cuts. None of these have happened. We only had the reverser failure, but it worked. So that was a bit weird. Fire protection, we know about the bottle. Flight instruments. Look at this. Take your options. Attitude direction indicator. Okay, the term doesn't come up in FCOM. Fuel hydraulics, we know about ice protection, miscellaneous, no navigation issues, no pneumatic, no pressurization issues this time. Well, okay, so something was definitely a bit funky with the sim, because it said pressurization issues, but we did have no duct pressure, even though there was no bleed trip off, even though this says there's no issues, so something probably a bit funky going on with the PMDG. But there we are, guys. 16 faults, all of them we sort of recognised. The way I dealt with them would be pretty similar to how I deal with it in real life, bar the fact that if I actually had this number of failures, I would have diverted and declared at least a pan as a minimum at that opportunity. But we pressed on for your entertainment, and we got down in the end. And obviously the gear issue was a bit of a surprise, and the Mayday call initially, yeah, I was probably worried that the gear was permanently stuck down, and I sort of went back, oh yeah, we could actually extend it manually, of course. So yeah, would these situations happen in real life like they had? Absolutely not. You know, this is multiple separate system issues, but it proves to you how we mentioned this last stream. This stream, the PMDG is very well modelled, and this is to reassure you if you're a nervous flyer. Look at the amount of redundancy there is in the aircraft. We've had 16 failures, but I could still fly it from A to B, and even if the engine had failed, I'm confident I'd still, with all these failures, get it on the ground. So just proves to you the reliability of the aircraft and the amount of redundancy built in it allows for multiple issues and still the aircraft to fly normally. But there you are, that's it for today. What an interesting adventure yet again. We will once again also revisit this. It does take me about a month and a half to recover each time. I'm going to clear the malfunctions execute, and I'm going to load up a panel state for the replay. I wonder if this will work okay. Let's go for final. I have logged off of that sim already. Or actually, no, let's not do final. Let's do engines running. Runway, that'll do. Execute. That's going to give me a working aeroplane. I don't think the replay is going to model all the little issues we had, but there we are. Cheers, Romulus. Glad you enjoyed it. Listening. Also, a note for nervous flyers: real pilots wouldn't risk it and go across the Atlantic on such a plane. That is true. Extreme flying half a 7-3. Great. Dave Kemp, great stream captain. Have to do longer flights for some engine failures. Yeah, I think next time. What do you reckon, guys? Chat. We've looked at lots of system issues. I think we should look at some engine issues next time. Look at that, and that would be good exposure for me. So we'll perhaps not activate all failures, but you can. The great thing is you can select your failures here and just select what you want. So you can go to engine and then random. So I can select maybe 3 issues in an hour or something. Potentially for a drift down or something. So yeah, let's potentially look at that next stream. Anyway, that's it for that. Let's now see if the replay all works. Bear with me. I'll just arm it here in the background, and we'll get rid of flying live. That's the music and replay. Hey, all the way from 17,000 feet. So I wonder if we go to the approach. You can see the go around. So there's the go around. I wonder. No, it hasn't simulated it with the gear look, unfortunately. I think it would have been a bit too much for the replay. Oh well, we can at least enjoy the approach from the stabilised approach and see how that went. Still 2 failures for the engines. We'll see. It could be potentially anything there. Cool, that's loud. Funky music replay. Let's have a look here. Beautiful. I'll try and timestamp some of these issues, but yeah, the IRS one I was very lucky with. Very nice. I do miss the X-Plane replay tool though. It's not bad, this third-party one. If you can still hear me, that is. Almost timed the landing to the touchdown as well. I'd go with a butter, no doubts. So it was weird as well, there's a little bug there, reversers. Even though reversers didn't appear on the display, I stowed them because I was a bit worried I was just adding thrust. But they were working, even though the upper DU said there was no reversal initiation. Perfect, oh yeah, I'm going to pause it. Speed brake was stowed too, there we are. No, I've got to do the... Oh, I don't like this replay tool, it's tricky. Let me pause that here and turn off drone cam briefly. Drone follow mode off. Ah, beautiful. Yeah, that was nice. Superb. Flight deck to scrapyard. Cheers, Rosie. Thank you. Press space to level the cam. Doesn't seem to be working for me. I might actually click it. Oh, thank you. I didn't know that. Learn something new every day. Right, that's it, guys. I need to go and get some dinner. I'll pop you into the window view. There we are, so you can enjoy the approach from that perspective. Right. There we go. Let's pop you out about there. Excellent. That's it for today, guys. Little disclosure and thing to point out here. Remember, this is a simulator, it's for entertainment purposes only. I'm trying to do everything in the best of my abilities as realistically as possible. But I'm a single pilot, I'm trying to keep a good show on here. There are things that I perhaps would do differently in real life, so don't see this as the be-all and end-all of how I'd operate the aircraft as well. If you're on your type rating as well, or a line pilot as well, the same goes for you. There are certain things which seem to be modelled well, other things was a bit suspicious, but it was good fun nonetheless, and I would recommend the PMDG 737 regardless of your experience. It's a very realistically modelled 737. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Well, I hope you all enjoyed it. Seems to be a lot of people wanting to see this. We'll again revisit this in the future. But if you enjoyed the stream, thank you very much. And like the video, helps out the channel a lot. If you want to stay up to date with the content, subscribe as well. To all the members, thank you very much for the continued support. Don't forget, members, tomorrow giveaway for the Steam gift card. And also the Assetto Corsa race on Thursday. And what else I want to mention? Oh yes, everyone that donated, thank you very much for your generosity, very much appreciated, and all the gifted subs as well from, I cannot remember who that was, Matthew, was it you, Matthew Merchant, whoever it was, thank you very much indeed. I think it might have been you or perhaps not. Anyway, thank you very much guys, take care of yourselves, fly safe, be it real life or virtually, and I'll see you on another live stream very soon. Cheerio.